Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for coming on today. We're going to say hello to everyone. First off, hi, CJ, dehydrated nurse. That's a funny
like
name.
that.
Hello, happy thoughts. And no spring chicken. I like that. That's a
welcome to the channel, No Spring Chicken.
I have listened in as I did other things. So I just want to say I appreciate your content. I do not feel like a stalker.
Oh.
Good. Well, thank you. We really appreciate you coming in today and for listening the times that you have. Hi, Jeff. Hi, time will pass. You're here before it starts. Yeah. Reasonable to conclude. ST Copilot. Okay, very cool. So
Esty and Jay.
And Jay, hi Jay, and Esty, yep, and Maverick.
Yeah.
And Homo sapien.
Oh, I love that one.
I love that name.
Yeah. Time will pass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I saw a sister and I wave. I don't think she saw me, even though our eyes made. Is that this here? Saw a sister.
Oh, okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. So, hopefully you can hear us. We have the microphone on. So let us know if you have trouble hearing us. I did put in the description, if you decide you want to come on here and join in the conversation publicly, you can do so by going into the description and clicking on the StreamYard button, and that will allow you to enter the studio if you decide to do that. So I figured that out. If you decide you want to come on the channel and share your thoughts. And let's see.
Who's this?
Oh, okay. What happened to reading the bound volume is equivalent to a college education? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So that's something we got to talk about as well. Oh, Maverick and Jeff want to go live? Come on over. The button's there to click. If you have trouble finding it, let me know. But of course, we were going to talk about two things. One was we went to the convention today for the morning, and we saw part 2 of the drama because it's in 3 parts. And then, of course, we also want to discuss the governing body update number 5, which everybody's talking about. It's like we watch it and we're like, before we even get a chance to even finish watching it, somebody's already posted a video on it. Right?
Yeah.
It seems to happen that way. Oh, yeah. Maverick's been volunteered. That's true. Yes. So, but you're welcome to come on if you want. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Esty says Vince DePorter Exjw was a cartoonist for Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yes, cool. I did not know it was an Exjw. Cool.
That's really cool.
Yep. Man, that convention it's wild to see a convention with only, how many people was there?
Okay, so yes, I wrote it down.
1,700 total.
Well, it was about 1,500 in attendance, and then there was an extra 250 or so that were streaming. So it was a total of 1,791 is what they counted, and that includes us, So
right,
how many PMOs are in there too, And then there were 9 that got baptized, and this is a regional convention, everybody. So. Yeah. I have never been to a regional convention that was held at the assembly hall. So I actually helped build that assembly hall when I was like 14. And it was only meant to be for circuit assemblies and special day assemblies. And when they very first built it, they were serving food. So they still have a kitchen there, but they did away with that a long time ago. And they still have a cafeteria. Right. You just bring your food,
Yeah.
But I know that I can't believe how few are there. And I know that they, like I asked my mom about that, like, well, why so few? I mean, why are they sending people to the assembly halls for the regional convention? She's like, well, they're just breaking it up into smaller groups and having several.
They've always had
really,
several.
there was like probably the same amount of convention dates as there were before.
Yep.
But yet there's not as many people. So they're using the assembly hall, which makes sense that they would use the assembly hall.
Well, it gives the illusion it's more people too.
Yeah. And it's free.
That's just like
the assembly hall for them.
Happy Thoughts said that they used to use the convention center in Manchester, and then they moved it over to Liverpool. Manchester held 21,000, and it used to be full. Now it's not, so they move it over to Liverpool, which holds 11,000, and it still gives the illusion that there's a lot of people there.
Yes,
but it's just an illusion.
Right. And that was, like Jeff says, that was like a circuit assembly. Exactly. That amount of people. That's what I was thinking too.
Yep.
Like that was probably about how many were in a circuit assembly. This is supposed to be a district, aka regional convention. I don't know the difference, but it's supposed to be. I mean, the a lot more people.
Right.
And even then, it wasn't full. And I did take pictures and videos and all of that. So I can share that with you today.
And they have a behind glass. They have like the history of the Jehovah's Witnesses, starting with Russell and his books, the photo drama creation, going to Rutherford all the way through. And they have a lot of the books there. And they have our Lord's Return for Russell and Millions Now Living, a couple others. Really hilarious that's sitting there. Oh, the Unfinished Mystery.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of stuff by Russell was there. I was like, wow, some of those books are very expensive by Russell.
I mean, they've always had their display cases, but I noticed that they've added more to it since I've been there. Hi, what is that? Per Adventure. Hello.
Yeah, I can't see my comments here for some reason.
CJ, you don't think you could ever sit through a meeting much less
it was awful. It was awful.
Well, I mean, here I will say I'm going to play devil's advocate in this case. I thought that the drama was done well as far as the production was done. Now, it has a slanted view, of course, because they, as Christians that they claim to be, they are demoting Jesus' deity to Michael the Archangel. And they even twist the scriptures when they talk about John, which is what the Gospel of John, the drama is based on. They say things like, when John the Baptist was like, they were asking him, well, who are you? Are you the Christ? Are you a prophet? And he's like, nope, I'm here to make way of the path of Jehovah straight. And that's not what the Bible says. Like all the other versions say, make straight the path of the Lord. And that's referring to Jesus, obviously, because that's the whole point, is to make way for the Messiah. So I don't know why they twist the scriptures like that.
Evelyn, you're absolutely correct.
Elvin.
Not
Evelyn.
All right.
Yeah. Elvin, it says 1,700 people and only 9 baptized. Mm-hmm. That's 0.5% results. That proves nobody is preaching. Just checking that box. Yep. And also, we think that a lot of the people that are getting baptized are just relatives of, like, probably grew up around the religion, grew up in the truth, but didn't ever commit until later on.
Yeah.
Although we don't know that that's everyone's case. But they did interview 2 men for the baptismal talk, and one of them said that he got baptized like 3 years ago, and he mentioned, and he was like probably 40, and I thought, okay, maybe he, somebody knocked on his door. No, he mentioned his grandmother being in the truth, so we know that.
And his grandmother had raised him, and he grew up with her.
He got baptized only a couple of years ago. Well, that's why, because he grew up around it.
Yeah.
So our Sunday meeting's 30 minutes now.
Jeez, no, they're bad.
That would be nice.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
But they are shorter than they used to be, because they used to be 2 hours. They're an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And they changed that several years ago.
And you only got 2 meetings and not 3.
Yep, that's another thing. And you don't have to count time. You do have to go in service, and they do encourage you to go out in service and be a part of the SKE, which is let's see, is it service for Kingdom Evangelizers?
Yeah.
And school for Kingdom Evangelizers. And you could be a couple or a single person, and it's to train you to go out in the ministry and convert people. So we're encouraging people to do that, of course. And besides all of the other updates that we've had for the past year that have been like constant, and now we have another update is that higher education might be okay depending on your situation. I did watch the video that Splain had about it, and he was just basically saying that if maybe in your case you might need to go to university, but be careful because you don't want to be missing meetings, and you want to be careful who your association is, and blah 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 blah. But then at the same time, the convention that they just had is telling people, they were 2 examples that I can think of that they didn't go to college because they decided that they had needed to serve Jehovah. But here's the thing: why can't you serve God and have your education at the same time? And that's what they think. They think you can't do both.
What they're trying to do is damage control right now because they've had such a mass exodus.
Yes.
And it's so obvious. You can go to any Kingdom Hall in the United States, the attendance is way off. Or the Southeast, and the pictures I'm seeing coming in from other places, it's ridiculous that the big amount of people that's gone. Wow. So now there's damage control. What is it?
Okay. Well, first I was going to say, CJ says we started using the Assembly Hall for conventions a few years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
And then this is interesting, Jay. Next year, the attendants will have your pictures so that they won't let you in the convention, huh? Why do they care if you go to the convention or not? I mean, how's
now they were going to do that one time before. They were going to have pictures. Now I do remember hearing that.
Pictures for
Brother Hicks had mentioned that to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, what pictures for like ID, like when you wear your badge?
Yeah.
And that will be handed to you from
I guess it will come from headquarters, Bethel. I don't know where it'll come from.
Well, most of you get from your local congregation.
All right. Well, I guess they'll have a way to print it out. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll find a way, because we were able to.
Because they don't want people going in there and not, now they're trying to hide the fact that they've lost so many people, but it's going to be obvious. Because if they continue to lose people at the rate they're losing them, they're going to have to start selling off a lot of Kingdom Halls.
And maybe they'll sell the Assembly Halls.
That'll be the last, but they won't be doing conventions at the convention centers, the Coliseums. Yeah, they'll be done with those.
Shaq, there will be half of the amount next year.
Yeah.
Because they'll be off to college. Right. And also, I mean, college can wake people up some, because they, start getting a different point of view than what's told to them. The reason for no college is to keep you in the bubble. But if you're out of the bubble, then you might start thinking for yourself, and they don't want you to think for yourself.
Well, one of the things that's very obvious I was paying attention to while we were there is the amount of young people are gone.
Oh, yeah.
It was always a lot of young people there, as well as elderly. Now it's a whole lot of elderly and a few young people. We have one. Thank you.
Our Newburgh, New York Hall was both for our assemblies and convention.
Huh.
So.
Well, the convention we went to was for 3 fairly decent sized cities.
I know that they didn't do regional conventions at the assembly halls, I would say, until probably after COVID, right?
Right.
Yeah. Or like 2021 or something like that. Yes. So many pioneered once they weren't counting time. Yes. Well, you still have to count time if you're a pioneer, or if you're auxiliary, or if you're a regular pioneer, you still have to count the time. But if you're not either one of those, then you don't have to count time. You just have to have committed at least once a month to field service, check a box. And all these changes, like you say, I think it's probably because they're doing damage control and they're trying to soften it up a little, just like they mention now. They don't use the word disfellowship. They say removed. In fact, they even mentioned that at the assembly today. Like, I was once removed for 7 years, and then I got reinstated. So when they were doing
Oh,
that.
yeah, that one guy.
Yeah. And so they changed the terminology to make it sound like it's not as bad, and then you can go up and say hello to a removed person that's in the congregation and invite them to the meetings.
Yes, Esty, if you want to.
But that's it. But it.
Oh, Jeff said this. He said, I saw your video of the Kingdom Hall visit. Not going to lie, it was pretty hard to watch.
Mhm.
It was really creepy the way they were asking you where you're from and why you were there. It was creepy, man.
I know. It's so
That
annoying.
was so
It's
weird.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that no matter where you go. And yes, Esty, come on. Show your face if you want to, dear.
What is it? Let me see. I haven't been over the. I didn't get down there.
Yeah, you got way behind.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up.
She's right there.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Do you need to show your face?
If you want to, it's up to you.
I don't know how that
works. We'd be glad to have you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can hide your camera somehow.
I had a cousin twice removed. Hey, Colin. Oh, hey, Colin. CEO visits.
Oh, yeah, hey.
Leroy Thomas, thank you for joining in. I bet the governing body look at the LDS church and weep. Won't be long before they add tithings. You know they look at the LDS and weep because the LDS did one thing right. They said that higher education is closer to godliness because they knew that higher education was higher salaries for the members. Higher salaries, higher tithings, because tithing is mandatory. That's why they own Florida.
His allergies are really messed up today. In case
yes, and somebody had a lot of perfume and colognes on, man. It just messes me up.
Yeah, he'd be one of those people that would have to sit in the back room the rest of the time.
Yeah. She said I'd be like somebody she knew in the Kingdom Hall. I was like, don't compare me to that person.
She was a hypochondriac.
She was a very bad hypochondriac.
Yeah. This girl I knew, she said that.
And I had to get up very early.
She said that she one time she was at the convention and that somebody had perfume on and that she passed out and somebody caught her. And I was like,
oh my,
I don't believe that story.
She was always, strange.
A lot of strange people in there.
Well, her mom, she got it from her.
Yeah.
Her mom was like weird.
Very hypochondriac people. Did you see the CO Visits video on aliens? I thought it was pretty
I started watching it, but I didn't get to. I'll go back and finish watching it. It was pretty decent what I saw, yes.
I need to change the name of my furniture disfellowshipping company back to Furniture Removals again. I know. I mean, they keep changing names. Like, that's supposed to make things better. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. I bet the governing body look at the LDS church and weep. Won't be long before they add tithing.
Yeah, that's what I was responding to.
Yeah, like, well, that could be because they always talk about how they are so proud that they don't ask for money. Oh, here we go, SD. And Let's see. Oh, okay, cool. Hello. I don't know if okay, let's see. Do we okay, no, your mic is not muted.
Can you hear us, Esty?
I don't hear anything. I wonder if we have to turn off our microphone.
No.
Edit microphone settings. Let's see. Let's see if anybody's saying anything. Oh, hi, Ruby.
Oh, Ruby Quinn. Hi.
Ah, cool. Okay.
Pleasure to have you here.
Okay, I'm not sure why we're not hearing anything on her end. Let's see. I added her to the stage. Oh, she has hers. She has to turn hers on. Okay, you have to turn on your microphone.
Maverick.
Unmute. Oh no, wait. Let's see. No, now it's not muted.
Well, I don't know why it's not there.
Okay, Esty, you have to turn on your microphone for us to hear you.
Oh yeah, when I said what was the made-up cult name? I forget what it was.
What was the name of your combined cult name? It was.
Oh yeah, it was the.
Let's see.
What was that? The Latter-day Jehovah's. No, what was it?
It was the Latter-day Witnesses of
Science. Yeah, Latter-day Witnesses of Science for Scientology.
This update number 5 made me very upset. It is very personal because it changed people's lives for the worst. No apologies from the governing body discussing. Agreed. And the thing I can tell you too, I know stories.
I'm really
Okay, I don't know what happened with SD. Sorry. I did add her to the stage, but for some reason we couldn't hear her. So, but we thank you for trying. If you want to try again, feel free to come back. You're right, CJ. They need money, and I'm sure that's what's going on. I know my sister was told when she was in middle school that she probably, well, actually, my parents thought that my sister wouldn't even finish like elementary school or something. That's okay, SD. I don't know what happened. It's something to do with the microphone. I wonder if we have to unplug our microphone.
No, it's not.
For us to hear hers.
No. It should just went live. It was probably just the mic was muted or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. We may have to unplug it. We'll try that next time and see. But regarding
if anybody wants to sign on, they can. Just tell them
how to try again and see if we need to do something different.
See if it'll get up there.
Okay. The governing body finally understood that of their people getting better jobs, they will make more money. That's the other thing we thought possibly is the reason. Hi, CEO visit.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
That they would, right, because it was like, well, if you make more money, then you can donate more money. And we have said that for years. Like, why don't they just tell you to go to college and you can make more money? But the reason why is because they need that control. And without the control, they run the risk of losing you as a member.
That's why the Latter-day Saints are one of the largest or wealthiest groups as far as this small religious groups there is.
Yes, and so Happy Thoughts, they're wanting 10 euros. Is that euros or pounds?
Yeah.
A month. And this new update didn't bother me as much as the dress and grooming one. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it all depends on your situation. Because like my sister, do we have somebody here? Device not connected. They will need to connect their mic before you can add them to the stage.
Okay, well, connect your mic.
Connect your mic, and then we can add you.
Who's that? What's that? Somebody else?
Oh,
okay.
No. Okay. So my sister. Oh wait, Jeff. Here we go.
Oh, there's Jeff.
Yay!
What's up, Jeff?
Hey.
Oh, good. Cool. Yay! So you can hear us.
You guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh, hear you great.
Can everyone
Okay.
else hear Jeff and us?
Wait.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right, I think I have it working.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Everything's good.
Cool. Okay, so CO visit, he says the dress and grooming isn't transcendental. Having a beard or not is irrelevant. Keeping people for years from going to college ruins people's lives. Yeah. And so my sister had a perfect situation where she was going to get a college scholarship. And my parents were like, no, absolutely not. You're not going to go to college. So she didn't go. And in that sense, yeah, it ruins people's potential future, especially if they're going to be able to get college paid for.
Yeah.
So
it was just so shocking being there and seeing people with beards and stuff today, though. It's seeing a few ladies in slacks, but most of them had dresses. Yeah. Did you notice?
And you don't have to wear a tie, right? But most everybody did.
Yeah.
So Jeff, what's your thoughts?
Okay, my thoughts are a little bit nuanced, and I don't know who's going to quite agree or not agree, but whatever.
All right.
I kind of have to connect a couple of dots. So a few years ago, I think it was 2013, but a few years ago, there was actually in a study article, a Watchtower study article, saying that beards were okay.
Really?
And the way they worded it was like, okay, if the region you live in, it's not seen down upon and like professionals wear beards and all this other stuff, then it shouldn't be a problem, right? And I remember that because after that, I'm like, you try this out and see what happens because it's in the article. And I tried growing it out a little bit, and an elder's wife out of nowhere came and said something. And she was like, I see you're growing a beard, blah, blah, blah. And I took it off, whatever. But what happened, so my thought kind of looking back at that was like, there's certain things in JW and Watchtower that are part of the culture. And the beard thing was part of the culture. So even if they put it in a paragraph in a Watchtower study article, it's so ingrained in people that it's like they're just programmed to stick with it. And the whole beard thing for so long after that article was still stuck on people until somebody, a governing body member in a broadcast had to say it's okay.
Hello.
Before people actually started going in line. So I say that to say this, like I remember through the years, some of the reasons they mentioned that I read in articles right here were kind of hinted at a little bit, saying, you might need to go to like community college to get something basic or, something simple, not like a full like 4-year degree. But just as I remember it, they would kind of poke little here and there, kind of saying it's okay, but still no education was part of the culture. Right. The idea of not going to anything past what you basically needed was part, no matter what they said or how they hinted at it, it was still stuck in people's minds.
Yeah.
So it took like somebody on the governing body in an update to explicitly say, look, you guys can go to college. You guys can do anything besides like high school, before people actually get the point that, hey, geez, it's okay now. So to me, because there's people I know that did community college, like my ex-wife, she made a full career out of like a 2-year community college degree. And it was very basic, but she took it and did something with it. But now they're saying that that's suddenly okay. If you need something more than that, it's okay. So it's like, it's not so much that they weren't saying that before, but just the way they announced it now was such a shift in the culture. And I hope
Maverick's on
people
here
start
too.
to notice it that way. Hey, Maverick.
Hey, guys.
We added him to the stage too.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, Jeff, but Wally brought this out recently. And the Watchtower, November, study article 44, maintain your joy. if you go to paragraph 7,
Oh, yeah. Of this
And
year.
this year,
It's going to
2025,
come out in November.
it says, perhaps you're saddened by the possibility that the end of this system will not come in your lifetime.
That's a new one, huh?
So now they're saying the end of this system may not come in your lifetime.
Crazy.
And it goes on to, if you read the rest of that article, it goes on to reiterate the fact that it might not come in your lifetime, but just keep on.
Yeah.
and like, it's interesting, like the first two thoughts I had when I heard that, because I saw some of it, was first of all, like, how many lives were ruined? You know, people in developing countries where you need an education to get access. Like, if we think of it just in the United States or in like developed countries, you know, kind of yes and no. But if you go to some places where you don't have access, if you're able to get that and you turn it down, that's you and your family's like livelihood more than what we experience here. The other thing I thought was like, so suddenly you're fine with me taking 4 years out of my life. Okay, so you think things are still going to be here in 4 years. You still think they're going to be here in 6 years. You know, we used to think so much that, okay, maybe not even a year from now, things are going to be gone. But now they're basically telling people without telling them, okay, look, things are going to keep going on.
That was the point. That's what I was saying. That study article, man, whenever Wally read that, I went, what?
Yeah.
And then the very next day they announced that.
Maverick, did you want to
hello?
add to this?
Can you hear me all? Can you all hear me?
Hey, Maverick.
Hey,
hey,
Maverick.
Nice to talk. Hi, guys. Hi. Nice to speak to you all, you know?
You too.
Can you hear me okay? Is my volume okay? Or is it too loud? Or
yeah, it's fine. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Oh, boy. I tried to listen to the update today, earlier, right? And I just couldn't. I just saw one look at Splain's face and I switched it off. I just couldn't watch it. I don't really actually know what he said, but obviously I know the gist of what he said. They're trying to package a more palatable option for the rank and file, but I found it quite strange too that it's the timing of it. Right, I tell you why. Didn't we just have that drama of the so-called worldly the couple that came in and was encouraging the youngster to not pursue worldly course?
Yeah.
Did we just have that
Bethelite, the one who went to Bethel?
So,
and they told him about going to school and so he could provide for himself.
That just happened.
That just happened. Like my wife mentioned, hang on a minute, why are they doing this now? So I said to myself, huh? Yes, true. So I have to credit her for the kind of critical thinking on this, but I just like, what is going on here? But it's damage, as you said, Anthony. It's damage limitation. It's trying to make it look like they've got they're being really reasonable and letting people be free. But as long as you agree with what we're saying at this moment in time, then you can be free to do what you want. Basically.
Yeah. Billions now living will never shame. I love that.
Yeah, that is really weird. I thought that too, because I was like, here they are telling this young man he cannot further his education. Bethel was so much of a better choice and how he needs to dedicate his life to Jehovah. And then they come out and they tell people, well, now it's okay to go to college. They say the end might not come in our lifetime. It's like, what's going on?
Jeff, you're funny. He tried to explain higher education.
Explain. I love it, Jeff.
I know. That's so funny. It's true. Yeah, so that's, I mean,
where did Ruby go? Ruby's still in here?
I don't know. But,
she needs to join in.
But, you think about like how some people have been affected. And I mean, we've all been affected negatively, but some people worse off because maybe they gave up a scholarship and now technically it's okay. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can. I just wanted to say, I remember this has been, as we know, it's been quite a rinse and repeat situation with the education thing, right? I remember my own situation. I'll tell you my own situation. When I got baptized 16 and a half, after not having much contact with biblical things, with a very limited understanding of religious beliefs and so on. So I came into the organization because my mum was before me and my brother. So my brother's 5 years younger than me, and so he was 8, 9 years old, and I was obviously when she started studying, it was about 15. I was about 14 and a half, 15. So 16, I started studying. 6 months later, in the Live Forever book, I'm already raring to go. I mean, they got me. They got my brain. And then I was thinking about what I'm going to do for college, for what am I going to do with my own career. But I kind of did the classic thing. I was whirlwind, love bombed into thinking that I've got now higher aspirations. So although I had a huge appetite for my own learning and
Sorry,
that's all right. Is that Joey?
that's Joey. Yes.
It's our dog.
No, I don't mind Joey interrupting me at all. He's so cute.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's like, even if you decide to ignore what the official thing is, you will still heavily kind of be influenced by it regardless. I always say this to people: even if you just completely ignored them and went and done a college degree and got some extra levels, you still kind of, this is me personally, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to really just control the outcome of my own steps. Because I remember I work for myself, but one of my clients, he was talking to his son, and his son's about 12, 13 years old. And I remember overhearing a conversation they were having openly in the living area of the home I was working in. And he was saying, right, son, what are you going to do for the next 10 years? And he was kind of having this conversation with his son. Like, how do you move from into your middle to late teens all the way through to your, like, leaving your middle school, we call it secondary in England, but your middle school, I would imagine, a high school, and then to college and so on. And it was like he had that mindset to work through with his son. And here we are, so when you leave your secondary education, you should go to Bethel, or you should pursue a career in the truth. And so, look at the vast. It struck me how vastly different it is. So even if you say, okay, well, you know what, in our family, we're going to do this, and the mother and father say, no, we want you to carry on in your college, you're still hearing that rhetoric every single week. So for me, it kind of influenced me, because I thought I was doing the more noble thing. So lo and behold, and I'll stop this. The reason why I brought this up is because I kind of postponed my entry into one of the college courses I did at the time, and I went up on the platform with this big proud thinking to myself, I'm setting the right example and so on. And I was an example at the convention, not the convention, the big one, but the assembly, of how I'm pursuing pioneering. So I started pioneering age, 18, for about 2 or 3 years, and yeah. So that kind of, but then I went back to school later on. When I quit pioneering, I went back to school, but it still kind of derailed me completely, is what I'm trying to say. And so it's this kind of constant new information is different all the time. It's gaslighting, basically. I mean, a few people have used that word already, but it's basically just gaslighting everyone and forgetting the past, and just trying to act like they didn't say this. Historically, how many decades they've been saying this now, not to pursue education. All of a sudden it's all right, and we're just supposed to just swallow it and think. But I don't think it's working though, because the youngsters just very quickly, the elder friend of mine I'm meeting up with tomorrow, who is secretly a PMO, apparently. So I'm gonna just find out what he's about. I'll
Oh
keep
yeah.
you all
Definitely.
I'll keep you all posted on that. But
Okay.
I'm meeting up with him tomorrow. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yes.
He used to be in my band. We were band members before. Me, my best friend, and he was the guitarist in the band. And the band fell apart because I was now exiting, and they all dramatically backed off like I had the plague. So, yeah. So we might get the band back together. Who knows?
Yeah.
Good deal, man. It's always good to get the band back together.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you know, it's not right for them to play with people's lives like that, because this is something that dictates your future
Yeah.
and how you live your life. And when you play with people's lives, that's just the ultimate wicked.
I just got to say, my thoughts are much more coherent in my own head, and they come out all over the place sometimes. So sometimes I don't get to the point I want to make, but they're much more concise when I'm typing on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, feel free to do that too. I like what Reasonable to Conclude says. I repeatedly called the service department to ask why beards are prohibited and higher education discouraged, and they just gave this the Hebrews 13:17 and 1 Corinthians 1:10 about obedience and unity. Yeah, silly. Now it's all okay.
Yeah.
I like this.
Oh, and you can say cheers and what's next, you know? Blood fractions.
Well, blood fractions are allowed. You mean blood transfusions?
Yeah.
I would love to be a fly on the wall at Tony Morris's house. Oh, and that's another thing. Another subject.
Only real believing member.
Yeah, because we think that the reason why Tony isn't there is that he was the old school way, you know, and then I don't think he was in agreement with all these changes, and that's why they got rid of him.
Yeah, because he's gone. The changes started immediate.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not like they
will never
disfellowshipped
change
him or anything. It's just because they still use some of his talks, right?
Well, they deleted them and then brought them back.
Oh,
doesn't that tell you everything, though? I don't know where I heard this. Where if you're supposed to be the Holy Spirit that's supposed to be guiding the decisions of the governing body, shouldn't they have always a unanimous decision every time? They should get this kind of vibe from somewhere, a little buzz of things moving around on the desk at the Bethel headquarters, and then that's the answer. There shouldn't be this big, huge debate and voting like they're voting for the next president or something, you know?
yeah.
I don't get it. How is it, if you're led by Christ Jesus, supposedly, and it's Holy Spirit driven, why are they having arguments about who's doing what? It just tells you everything about the fact that they're delusional. And I had a conversation again earlier today. It was like, do they know that they're lying? I think so.
Oh,
I think they know. They're so delusional. It's unreal.
Maverick, think about this. They claim now that they're uninspired and fallible. That's their claim. So if you're uninspired and fallible, then that means that you're not getting divine messages, and everything you say is just words you're putting down. It don't matter. It's just anything, and you're not liable for it. So you're not a fallible person. So it's just writing what your thoughts are. That's all. Yeah. It's not inspired. It's not driven. So they claim this, but yet at the same time, they say that Jesus appointed them to this position. Yeah. And they still use the old little profile that they get their messages straight from Jehovah to Jesus to the governing body. But at the same time, they're saying they're uninspired and fallible. That's the craziest talk I ever heard.
Yeah. And to add to what you just said, in the early publication, I'll have to find it, you know, it actually said the reason why they were chosen is because of their infallible understanding of the Bible. I'm sure that's there, you know. I've got something in print on that. But in some of the publications in the past, they've said that the reason why Jesus Christ chose them out of Babylon the Great in 1919, which is my area, like yourself, Anthony, the 607 thing was the reason why I got myself way out of that situation. But they were saying that the reason, the criteria, they were fitting, their doctrine was flawless. That's the reason why they were chosen. I can't remember the reference, though. I don't know if someone else can remember it or know it. I'll find it, though, because I have it in my archive. But look at it, as you just said, now they're saying they're infallible. So they're giving themselves a get out of jail free. But at any time they want. New light, and we're not fallible, so don't persecute, don't crucify us. We're, or impale us rather. I mean,
Well,
Hang us on a torture stake.
how
Yeah.
that came about is the way they originally believed during the time of Russell and Rutherford's early years up until 1929. They believed the end started in 1799.
Yeah.
Jesus took the throne in heaven in 1784. The harvest work began, which harvesting the 144,000 in 1784 or 89 or something like that. And then the Armageddon was supposed to happen in 1914. It didn't happen. Then they changed it in 1916, 1918, then 1925. None of it happened. In 1929, Rutherford went back, changed it to 1914, because all of that writing was all about 1914 and the studies in scripture. And they continued to have little bits and pieces here about 1914 in some of the publications. So he said, all right, wait a minute. Jesus now came and took the throne in heaven in 1914, and he searched the whole world over. And in 1919 chose us to, or 1918 originally, chose us to be his one true organization. And at the time that they had the finished mystery, that's pretty interesting. But the fact that they did that, that's when they started saying that then he appointed them to be his one true organization. They are his messengers.
Yeah.
And that was all done by Rutherford.
Rather
Jeff,
fraud,
you
as I
watched
call
that
it.
movie, right? This one here, Happy Thought says, they live.
They live great.
What
movie.
they live? Oh, yeah.
It's you said, isn't that what helped you wake up?
It was one, like, I mean, I watched it as a kid and it felt weirdly familiar at like 10 years old. But later on, when I was a teen and in my 20s, I was like,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I never saw the movie.
Oh, you got to
Oh,
watch
you
it.
you have to watch
Oh,
it.
you have to watch that.
Ruby, you're going to have to put it on Discord.
But here's the thing, the fight scene. I don't want to spoiler alert, but the fight scene when he's trying to get his friend to put the glasses on, Roddy Piper.
Oh, yeah.
That was me for 1.5 years with my best friend in the put the damn glasses on. Put them on.
Oh, okay.
Put them on. And he just wouldn't do it. And I thought it was symbolic of how difficult it is for people who are indoctrinated to burst the bubble. It's just, I think if you had to encapsulate how hard it is for someone to wake up, that scene in that film is like the blueprint of how difficult it is, because you have to literally pummel the person and then finally it's like a battle. It really is. Like I struggled with, and I failed, because he's still saying, he actually said to me, one of the last things he said to me, because this guy was like my best friend, literally like brothers. We like for a good 20 odd years. And he said, one day I may look into the book Gentile Times Reconsidered, and I may research the 607 thing, but it's not really important. I want to focus on important things. And I went, how much more fundamental do you want to go? The very claim that they're making is that they were elected by God invisibly by Jesus in 1919. Invisibly, of course, like Joseph Smith with the golden tablets. And, anyone who says something that they're getting this personal message from God, you got to question what's going on, and then so that was how hard it was. And I really tried to reason with it. And the funny thing was, I said to him, look, let's just leave things alone. I have my views. I don't really want to talk too much about them. I'm researching. I'm doing all that. Then what does he do? He starts antagonizing me by giving me ABC, baby, 1, 2, 3, ABC paragraphs from the Watchtower. I'm like, don't do this.
I know.
Please don't do this, because I'm going to analyze it in about 2 seconds, and I'm going to throw it back at you how much problem there is in these paragraphs, as and then he started to get like very, very, oh, well, you're getting aggressive and antagonistic and so on, which at this point I threw the Bible in his head. I literally did, because he was just, because we were like that, we're just like, it was a real kind of like family kind of vibe. But Yeah, that scene in, if you haven't seen that They Live, it is really good. And obviously the classic one is 1984, because again, that kind of.
So how many are there? Like 2 versions of it?
The one I saw was the one with Roddy Piper.
Yeah,
There's only the one.
I've only seen one.
Okay.
Look, sorry.
No, go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, for me, what the part that felt familiar to me looking back was when he would look at the magazine without the glasses and then put the glasses on, and he would have that message. And like through the years, like as I would be reading through like Watchtowers at the meeting or whatever, you would see this message, but then you kind of think about it and you're like, okay, they're saying one thing, but it's what they're saying in print isn't quite what's not in print. I can't quite describe it, but it's like, you take what you're saying at face value and boom, it's one thing, but then you kind of think about it or compare it to what you know in real life and you're like, okay, these things aren't adding up. So to me, like the magazines with the glasses on and off is the part that felt familiar to me.
Yeah.
So with the glasses off, it's go to the meetings, go on the ministry, obey the Watchtower.
Well, with the glasses on, it was like obey, yeah. But you would see this. Oh my goodness, it'd be this mundane, who knows what, and then you're like, let me think about this. Okay, geez, they're telling me these. Yeah, like you said, it would just be like obey.
Jeff, were you a born in witness?
Yeah, I was born in.
Wow, I have so much. I say this quite often when I'm on these kind of. I have so much admiration for anyone who's born in, who has the critical awareness to start to feel uncomfortable enough to think, because that's all you've known.
Yeah.
Like I have a reference of what my life was before. Even though I was still quite young, I have a reference. I have at least 15 years of my life, my first 15 years of my life, where I had so I really admire anyone who is able to get to that space in their head where they're actually challenging things that they've been told is reality. Respect, real respect. And to KC, that was your situation as well, isn't it?
Yes.
It's real respect for that, because it's not easy, and I have a lot of empathy for the brothers and sisters there. Most of them are genuine, as we know, but there's some so-and-sos there we know, but most of them are just trying to survive, and trying to latch on to some sort of hope and mechanism. So I don't have any bad feeling. In fact, the other day I was walking and having my lunch in my local park, and I saw some youngsters there that were quite young. They didn't recognize me because I was passing, but they're all growing up into their 20s now, and I'm like, wow, they're witness youngsters that used to be sort of 6, 7, and now, because I've been out now 13 years. Like I've been out, 13 years, because it was actually, I put my letter of disassociation in 2015. And so that's 10 years of officially, but I was about 2 or 3 years before that I was going through the Gentile Times book and so on. And funny enough, that was the reason why I even knew about that book, is because there were in my study, this was in the 90s, early 90s, in my study, the brother who was studying that classic spread of the 1914 with the big arrow going across in the middle of the Lift Forever book, that he said, well, we say 607, but in history, if you go to a historical book, they will say it's 587 when Jerusalem fell. And I asked him the question, hang on a minute, why is there 2 different dates then? These are historians, archaeologists, because I'm really into archaeology. And so I knew that these guys are not silly. They really go in deep when it comes to the historians and the archaeologists. And so him actually telling me without realizing that there is an issue, that stayed in my head all the way through my time of the 27, 28 years I was there. And then finally it was the thing that got me out. So the very question of my study was the one thing that got me to rekindle, and it was the articles in the 2011, those 2 articles about 607 in Jerusalem, if everyone remembers, a rebuttal, an attempt to try and explain it. Now, hang on a minute, they're actually trying to explain it. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to have a look at this. And I tried to look at it, and then couldn't get anywhere because it was just all over the place, those articles. But I didn't know that those articles were in response to Olaf Johnson's book, Gentile Times Reconsidered. So then I started to, by researching those two articles in the Watchtowers in the 2011, it made me discover Gentile Times Reconsidered, and that was it. That was it. And that's no more Sunday meetings. I was taking Sunday meetings off, making all kinds of excuses and saying I'm not feeling too good. And I hated doing that as well. Like, why do I have to explain so hard? Like, why do I have to try so hard to explain? Why do I need to explain to other people if I'm not feeling good? It's like you had to have this internal conversation with yourself to justify, I'm not feeling well. I'm really not. I'm not feeling well. And then you kind of then you tell people I'm not going to the meeting.
You weren't grown. You were not raised in it then.
No.
Oh wow.
No.
Okay.
How my family got in contact with witnesses was at school. This is elementary school, and in middle school, our neighbor was a witness, a family, and I was friends with. We were all friends, like the children, like me and my brother were friends with their family as well. So she was witnessing to my mum outside the school gate, and then my mum took to it like a duck to water, and it just carried on, the whole family. And there's so many layers to what happened to my family in the organization, which I don't have time for to explore now. But one day I'll get a chance to we can talk about things. But it's caused so much carnage in my family, I tell you.
And that's what it does. It breaks up families, and it's very destructive. And again, you don't blame the people. The people are just following. They don't know. But it's the leadership, the governing body. They know what they're doing. When they go in, they realize that it's Raymond Franz was a perfect example of believing when he first got in, and then realizing that they were not inspired of God. And so once you get in the top, you should know, hey, this is wrong. And he did know it was wrong. That's why he left.
Just like you heard Norr say, what comes out the other end of this printer is truth.
Yeah, he said whatever is printed in the Watchtower is truth.
Once it leaves the room, I don't know what floor it was on, but once it leaves, it's gone. Oh, Ruby's here.
Hey, Ruby.
Hey, Ruby.
Wait, let's see. Okay. Are you muted? Ruby? Can you hear us?
No, I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I couldn't hear. Oh, I just want to mention this here about Homo sapien. Notice how they say additional education instead of higher education, clarification instead of having me like sneaking words to not admit they flip-flop or were wrong. Yes, and they're really good at kind of sneaking in words and saying things like, well, maybe the end could be happening pretty soon, those kind of things, or like possibly, or, things like that. So I just wanted to, so I want to say hi to everybody too. Dallas, I didn't get a chance to say hi to Dallas and Gabriel. I don't know if
Pankowski.
And questions and answers. JWs are so stubborn. They invested for many years, so they just can't throw the years away. That's true.
Well, Ruby, we're glad that you're here, dear.
Yes. Thanks for coming in. And maybe you can put that movie on Discord for us too, huh?
Oh, yes. I can't remember if we did or not, but I do remember watching it. And then I did a stream about it, and Jeff was there in the comment. I think you joined, I think. You joined us when we were talking about it. That was a good movie.
I like this too. It's
yeah. I remember. Yes.
You did? Okay. Another movie, The Truman Show. Of course. Yeah, I've watched that movie. He had no idea that his whole life was a fraud, There
was another person that did a video recently about the Truman Show, comparing it to being in Watchtower.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did see who
was that. I did see that.
Hi, Born JW. I forget.
He's from South Africa. He has a channel.
Yeah. I think we have seen it. I remember him talking about that. So It's pretty cool, but you
We have a
definitely
dog
see.
that just goes crazy, guys.
Yeah. Sorry about the noise. In the back.
Ruby, I think this is the first time I've been on a live stream with you.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice to finally say hello in person. I'm normally buzzing around everyone's channels trying to making a nuisance of myself.
Oh, that's cool. So
That's cool.
I just heard that you're not born in. I think Jeff said
No.
he was. Are you guys born in too?
I
KC
was.
is. I'm not. I never was a baptized member, Ruby.
But he studied for about a year and a half. He committed to it for a while.
Well, when her and I first got together, she wanted me to become a baptized member. You know, and the only thing I knew about Jehovah's Witnesses, I come from the other cult, the LDS church. I knew a lot about it. And so the only thing I knew about Jehovah's Witnesses, there was just very nice, friendly people with suits that knocked on doors, you know, and wanted to give you a piece of paper to read, you know, some literature. That's all I knew about them until I started studying with them, and wow.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So earlier in the comment section, I think the CO visit channel disagreed with me when I said that the dress and grooming was worse than the higher education. So I want to know how you guys feel. Do you think it's worse or not that bad? Because in my opinion, it didn't really bother me about the higher education. But how about you guys?
Well, I think I think it can be bad in the sense that if you were hoping to have an education to have a better career and make money, because what can you do? You're limited in what your options are without it.
Window washing.
Well, you can. Community college was never frowned upon. I mean, I think community college can be plenty without the university. So I think it just depends on what you want to do with your life. Like if you're happy with community college and that's good and that's okay. I don't think it would have affected people that went to community college. But if you were planning on like becoming a doctor or something, then yeah.
I don't know, but what was it that made you not feel like so important about it, Ruby?
So in my opinion, I don't think it's such a biblical issue. Whereas like the dress and grooming is a major Christian value, you know, like modesty and things like that's specific in scripture. Whereas higher education, in my opinion, is not. So from the beginning, in my opinion, it would have always been a conscious matter. But I do understand how they're trying to like backtrack on it because elders are being they are directing people not to do it, which is always wrong. You should never coerce anybody to do anything. But
Right.
that should be like a an isolated issue. It should not be like the whole organization, which is why I have a problem with the organization. That's why I left. But
Yeah.
in reality, when it comes to the Bible, nothing in the Bible says you can't have higher education. So why would it be? It shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
I've
it's
never-
it should be encouraged because of the Bereans. They studied everything. They were
yeah.
highly educated.
Yeah. In that sense, and also you want to be self-reliant. See, that's what JW organization discourages self-reliance. They want you to be dependent on the organization for everything. But you really do need to be self-reliant to some degree because you have to look out for yourself financially, right? So, and they're not going to look out for you financially. But the only reason they encourage the reliance on Watchtower is because they're worried that you will no longer remain brainwashed.
Yeah.
No, I just
What I
feel
found interesting about all these new things that they're like allowing.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of thinking myself over the last couple of years, like how much control the religion, like at the top in the culture, had. Like all these things you can and can't do. Oh, you can do this, you can't do that. Why you can, why you can't do that. And as they're allowing all this new stuff, at least for me, it's just making more clear, hopefully, to people that are still in, just how much control they're trying to have or how much they have over people. Like suddenly suddenly you're telling me to go to college, or it's quote unquote okay. Whereas before, there was control over it. Oh, facial hair, this thing or whatever, like even counting time. So many things that they had all these rules for, all these rules. And suddenly it's like becoming so clear, hopefully to people, that it's like, yeah, you guys had a lot of rules. I'm just hoping for them to approve. I got to buy lottery tickets before they're approved.
I know, right?
Jeff, I think you actually
explanation for that.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there in terms of the core issue. Really, is not so much the fact that one day they say you can have green, orange curtains, and next day, orange curtains are forbidden in the organization. It's not that kind of. It's more for the fact, as you said, like I just remember another film with the scene in 1984 when Winston is being interrogated in room 101, and he was asked to if anyone's not seen this scene. Sorry, it's a little bit of a spoiler, but basically the gist of it is that he's asked the question, 2 + 2 equals what? And Winston, who's been tortured, is saying 4, and they crank the whatever it is that's making him feel pain, and he's saying, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want me to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4. I can only see 4 because 2 and 2 is 4, and then eventually they break him down to the point where whatever they want him to say is he will say. So today, like Watchtower, today this is acceptable. 2 + 2 is 4, but tomorrow, if we decide that 2 + 2 is 5, you have to agree. And that was that's the point of it. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. I mean, you listen to them and follow them no matter what they say. And if you don't, then you're outcast. I mean, that's just the point of it. Because everybody, even though they say they're uninspired and fallible, they're still, people consider them speaking for Jehovah God, and it's equal to the Bible, whatever they say.
And Happy Thoughts, I think you said that you got baptized in 1954.
Oh, wow.
Did I read that correctly? Or 56. And then she says,
it's like your mom.
The rank and file JWs can be nasty and pious. I've just been called a dangerous, lying, toxic apostate.
Oh.
The only thing I've done is question the elders' answers. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty cruel to say that about someone. But, again, the rank and file are just following what they think is correct. But they're not using their independent thinking skills, right?
Nope.
Critical thinking skills.
Yeah, it's JT, Lady C.
Yeah.
Critical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Joey.
Yeah, Joey. And
so
shout
cute.
out to some people I haven't said. Joe Jacobs says, I left when I found out about 1925 from David Reed. Oh, okay. That's a good. Like that. And then we have Gems. It's bad in the sense that they're basically admitting that the end of the system isn't really as close as they manipulated you to believe. They've been manipulating you all these years. That's so true.
Yeah, that's true. Ruby, you're right about what you said, that the scriptures, that is scriptural to be moral, to be a certain way, as they can validate that scripturally. College, they can't. You're right about that. But it's just following man. It's shocking that they're changing so much so quick is what got me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's fake, actually. Like I agree with Mr. D in the comment section that they're making incremental changes to reduce exposure to liability, but in the process they're slowly exposing the fact that their beliefs are built on a foundation of sand. I agree with that, but I also think in the back of my head that all of these changes is because either they are going to make such a major change that would rock somebody's faith to the point of literally everyone leaving. So before they do that, it's like they're little by little letting people have these acceptable little changes and let it grow on them so that when the big one comes, they won't even see it as if it's like as if um oh, like, oh yeah, it's not a problem. We've been making so many changes. This is fine. When in reality, it's not, and it should never be fine.
You're right, because they're setting them up for that's I just had this conversation. You're right. They're setting them up for the big one. I don't know what the big one is, but they're setting them up for it.
Mhm.
I've got some ideas, but
Yeah.
like 1914 would be a hard one to change.
Mhm.
You think so?
I think it can be done, but I think it would be a hard one to change. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
it-
Because
Well,
the whole
the-
foundation is built on 14 and 1919, 1914.
But no, here's why I say that. Because I have some friends that are my
But
age,
it has happened.
and they have kids now that are like 12, 13 years old.
Right.
They don't really have any idea of what it was like growing up in the 80s and 90s. Like the culture is completely
Yeah.
different.
Uh,
Think of all these kids that are like, I'd say like 25 and younger.
mhm.
1914, if you think about it, at least to me, because I haven't been to a meeting or really read anything, but to me, think about the 25 and youngers. Does 1914 really have any relevance to them as Jehovah's Witnesses?
Well, and see,
That's
because
a
It
big
meant
change.
it meant everything. It meant everything to us. But if you ask, like, I would dare to ask, like, a 25 or younger, okay, about 1914, or bring it up. It probably doesn't mean anything to them as much as it meant to us. There might be other things in the culture or other things in the doctrine that are important to them. But, you know, if you're 25 and younger and that's the next generation of JWs, it's easy to just downplay that or make it unimportant.
But if they change that, they might as well just be 7-day Adventist. It's basically what they are.
Yeah.
Came from that, yeah. And because, you know, we were always taught that this generation of 1914 shall not pass away and the end will come, right? But now they're saying the overlapping generation. So I guess the younger generation, maybe they obviously don't know the whole, like, before the 20th century ends,
Mhm.
you know, the end could come. Now they're not
Yeah, but
saying
that's
that.
all gone.
So I wonder what the young people think. I wonder if is there anybody on here that knows anybody that's like maybe, I don't know.
I have a pretty good idea that they probably were not going to be interested in it at all, because the people of our my age group, I'm in my early 50s, you know, even people who are always trying to explain the basics and say, can you like the official explanation of, you know, the 2,520 years, a day for a year, and all that kind of thing from Daniel, and that's lost. It's gone straight over the average. You know, just asking a current witness, can you explain to me how you get to 1914? They would struggle with it. I'm not really bothered about that now. All I want to know is God's name is Jehovah, and just I just find it so annoying. Like, you're supposed to know, because you're building your trust on the foundation that these people were supposed to be elected. And I was sounding like a loon. I was really sounding like a crazy obsessive when I was asking these questions back in 2013. You know,
Oh, yeah.
and it's funny enough, the very last district convention I went to was the 2012 one, and that was the one where the guy, the elder who was giving the talk on the mentally diseased talk he's afraid he was my friend, and he was my group study conductor.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
oh, great. You know, I had to come from you, you know.
Right.
If only you knew what I was thinking right now, sitting in the
know.
stands. Do you know? So yeah, I don't think they're even bothered about it. So the youngsters, I don't think they're even going to be interested in the 90. If they say it will be a question of, well, we're not questioning anything because we're not suspicious of the authority that is giving us this information. And there's an interesting chap that sometimes I bring his name up. Sometimes a guy who was Sigmund Freud's nephew. His name Edward Bernays. He was popular in the early 1900s. He's the father of his name is Edward Bernays. He was he spent most of his life in America, and he was like an advisor and a PR man to the presidents and like big business and so on. And he coined the phrase public relations. It was his word. And why I bring his name up is because he said that you can't win people or convince people to buy something. He was a marketeer basically, and he said you can't convince someone just from the pure fact of the virtues of a product. So if you're trying to sell a piano, it's got the best wood and it's got the most. Yeah, that will convince a few people. But if you want to convince the masses, get Frank Sinatra to play that piano, and put that on the TV or the radio, and then you'll get thousands. Frank Sinatra plays that piano. We're going to buy that, or whoever, somebody, a celebrity, which is basically what influencers are now. And so what Watchtower's relying on is trust, not evidence. People have sold their trust to, given over their trust to them. So I trust the source. Oh, if such and such is buying that thing, it must be good because blah 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 is buying that. If someone, and the same thing with religious things, they are the governing body, or they must be right on everything. In fact, my friend I referred to earlier, he said to me, "Little you." It knows more than the governing body about this issue of 607. I said, damn right. Damn right. I do know more than them. And they know that I know more than them on this, and they're denying it because they have the information there since 1977. They had Carl Olaf Johnson's treatise, a big fat treatise, which they sat on for 3.5 years. And at the end of the 3.5 years, they basically demonized him and ousted him out. They had somebody go to a district overseer go to Sweden to interrogate him, and then finally they pushed him out of the organization because he was too dangerous. So they know exactly what they're doing. But that's my 607 is my thing. That's the reason why it's the 587 part of the Maverick thing, because I think for me, I had to be a Maverick on this subject. That's all that means. The symbolism of the name is just the fact that everyone's Maverick in their own area of concentration. Some people it's the CSA stuff, some people it's other things, but for me this was the thing, because I said to myself, hang on a minute, I don't need to worry about you anymore because your qualifications don't count, they're not real. So I don't care what you do now. It's a great liberator of the mind when you actually know and are convinced. And I feel sad for sometimes when people sorry, I'm going on a rant here, but sorry guys. Yes. Yeah, go on.
No, so I'll give you my quick story of the whole 607 1914 thing. For one, the first half was I worked at a kosher deli, and I would ask rabbis about it, so that made it easy.
Oh wow!
But so I tried to find the simplest way to think things through, and the 1914 side of it, and to me, just for a casual witness who's just going to buy 1914 at face value, okay. My thing is, they say that that Satan was hurled down in 1914, right? And it would have been, according to them, it would have been like sometime in the fall. So we'll say October of 1914. And what I always thought growing up was, okay, and one of the things that I really, really held on to is that I really do think the world changed then with World War I, and the world was different. That's just me, okay?
Yeah.
But as I thought about it more, and I'm a bit of a history buff, I realized, you know what? The Great War started like in the summer. It was like in June or July, right?
Right.
So if Satan were hurled down, wouldn't it make more sense that all these bad things happened after he were down as opposed to before? Like it would make more sense if, okay, the devil comes down in like the summer, starts kind of getting things together, makes things really bad, and then the war pops off in the fall or winter. Like, to me, I could buy that. That would make sense to me. But for things to happen bad before he even gets there, whatever they're teaching just doesn't add up.
Right. But here's another thing. They're talking about history with that, Jeff. Have you ever looked at the 1500s, early 1600s?
No, tell me.
Oh, my Lord. All
Lots
right,
of
we had
wars.
a religious revolution going on throughout Europe. We had plagues going on throughout Europe.
Yep.
We had wars going on throughout the world.
We had the
You know, and
100-year war as well.
yeah, the
Oh
100-year
yeah.
war. There you go.
100 years.
You know, if you look at those years, they make 1914 look like a baby's walk.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
frame of
the
reference,
war
isn't
to
it?
end all wars.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
that would have been nothing compared to those wars in the 1500s, where thousands of people would line up and only a few would walk away.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that's a valid point because where you are in the stream of time, like some people will say, I think this came out in the book Gentile Times Reconsidered. They were referencing the Napoleonic Wars. They said that the Napoleonic Wars were probably more significant in changing the landscape of modern Europe. I don't know too much about that period of time because I didn't really look into it as deeply, but he references it. Yeah.
That's how 1799 became the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Was William Miller and looking at the Napoleonic
Right.
Wars. But you know, William
There you
Miller,
go.
he suffered from severe PTSD. He had all the nightmares and sweats, and you know, there again, I think his intentions was good, but now look what he started.
Did he apologize? I think William Miller actually apologized as well in the end.
Yes, he did. That's true.
See, at least he got that. At least he put his hand up and said, "Sorry, I got that wrong." But the what's it called? The horses bolted already. That he's galloping right now, you know. And
well, you know, Jonas Wendell was a Millerite.
Yeah.
Barber, Stores, all those guys. Stetson, all of them were.
You want to hear a funny? You want to hear a funny story? Well, I think it's quite crazy when I think about it. Years ago, this is before I was awake to these issues. I'm with a good friend of mine. I used to ride a motorcycle, funny enough, for about 10 years. And we would just ride on a Friday night. We'd just ride around London, the night rides. And we'd end up in Leicester Square. I don't know if you do, if you know, Leicester Square in London is like the kind of like Times Square in New York. And it's always buzzing. And then one time there was this group of Seventh-day Adventists who had put their massive cardboard cutout of Nebuchadnezzar's statue with the gold head and the silver arms. And I turned up, and me and my friend there, because we're witnesses, yeah, we're just fully confident. We're saying, oh, we've got a lot in common with you guys. We SDA, yeah. We've got a lot in common with you guys. We believe the same thing. Yeah, we believe that Nebuchadnezzar was the gold head. We're having this big, long conversation. Little did I know later on, I'm thinking, that was such an idiot because... We are. They're cousins. We're cousins. You know, like he's basically the same religion. It's just a few things different. And William Miller is the founder of it. So I just felt
I don't
so
know
stupid.
if you knew this, but you know Charles Taze Russell was actually an Adventist, not 7-day Adventist, but Adventist minister.
Yeah.
And he performed Stetson's funeral.
You see? Yeah. Those details are lost on people. They don't really think it's significant, but origins are. Obviously, we understand that because people.
Without the origins, you don't see where you're headed and how it got there.
Right.
Yeah. There's a guy called Ratsliff, Dale Ratsliff. He's a former Seventh-day Adventist. He gave a talk because he's like the Ray Franz of that group. He's died. He died. Now he's passed away. But he said something he gave an illustration which I thought was so good. He said that most of the cults, like most of these religions, like the ones that come from Miller, are like this railroad track that's smooth. You know, like if you've got a 500-mile long track, and the first 495 miles of that track is smooth. You can't see any problem with it. You're cruising. And then you get to that last 5 miles, and then it derails you or it takes you off on a tangent. What's the point of having the 495 miles of track? That's all right. It's not the things that, because this is what witnesses do. They say, oh, but we do this and we do that. We're the only ones who go out on the ministry. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Yes, all right. So you go out on door to door. Okay, but the things that you're getting wrong, that 5 mile of track that's wrong, was going to derail you, get you off on a tangent. And this is the point that Dale guy was saying, that you got to check for the broken tracks, the things that are not right. And 607 is a massively broken track, and there's many parts of the track that's not right, and they just don't want to look at it. They're only looking at the bits that they're cruising on, and that's not good enough because. And I thought that was such a good way of explaining it, because he's not liked in the he wasn't liked in the SDA.
I asked a rabbi one time about the exact thing Jeff was saying about 607, which he started laughing. He told me it was 586, but because he said the 70 years was from 586 to 516, because the Jews did not consider themselves free until the second temple was constructed and finished, and they were able to worship as a nation. He said, and then that's the 70 years complete because they were still enslaved until the temple was together.
Wow.
And that agrees. Not science, but history agrees with that.
I'm just going to see. Mr. D says, born and baptized in 1988, disfellowship 1995. I did it to challenge the generation teaching. Less than a year later, they introduced new light on it, and you never look back.
Ruby, you're being really quiet. What are you thinking over there?
Oh, she's on mute.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
Okay.
But I was just gonna say, that's exactly why when I finally woke up and I got over like the religious trauma, I started looking back into Christianity, like Maverick was talking about, and that was my mission, was to find what was the original Christian understandings, Christian teachings. And when I was talking to people online, that's when I found about Orthodoxy or Catholics. And that's the only reason why I became a Christian again, was because I felt like I don't want to hear the noise. I don't want to hear people's interpretations anymore. I don't care if people think that they're anointed. I want none of that anymore. And that was the only way that I could bring myself back into a Christian mentality or go to church ever again. And that was pretty recent. So now I feel a little bit better when it comes to all of these changes, and I think that's why it doesn't really bother me that much, because I know that they're false teachers. So anything that they say and do really doesn't really matter at the end of the day, because it's up to God to destroy false teachers. That's not our job.
That's right.
To kind of kill ourselves over it. I mean, we could defend the true faith, the truth, the real truth, but at the end of the day, we already know where they're going when they die, and it's up to God to judge them. So all I can do now is just whenever it comes up, just give my experience. That's it. Say what I went through, how I feel about the whole experience, and that's it. Like, kind of let it go, but not like, I don't want to minimize it. I don't want to sound like I'm minimizing it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, all right, we're awake. We know they're wrong. We know that they're false. That's it.
Yeah, we have the blinders off now.
How long ago did you leave, Ruby?
Well, I kind of woke up in 2015, but it wasn't until kind of later, yeah, that I physically left. Like, I was still in communication, still under indoctrination, still kind of stuck to the toxic family members until 2018, 2019, 2020, and then the band-aid was ripped finally when I got rebaptized in this new church, because my mom, I guess she kind of thought there was still that hope. So she was always texting me, talking to me, trying to send me articles or whatever. But once I told her that I was going to that church, that was it. That was, yeah, that was that. And I almost regretted that, because I at least had a little piece of my mom, a little piece of communication. Like, any little thing that I can grab at, I was grateful, because at least I could still hear her voice or still see her face. But after that, it was like she pulled the plug, and I was like, ah, I forgot that this was gonna happen. and I shouldn't be shocked. But I was, and I almost regretted it. But then I was like, you know what? I don't care. Like who am I? Like, what? No, we know ourselves and we don't care, right? So I kind of had to convince myself to be like, just do it, because you know that this is the right thing to do. You know that baptism was invalid, and you need to get rebaptized if you want to be baptized with the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So as long as you know that as a Christian, you should be like, don't. It doesn't matter what other people say. You know that's the way, because that's what the Bible says. So I did it, and I was like, I felt like a brand new person, literally. Felt like a brand new person, and I haven't heard from her since. But
Wow.
yeah, that was the most recent.
I see.
Well, Casey went on a baptismal tour. It's,
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah, just I like to explore. All right. At this rate, they can just
Oh, you
open
want-
the Bible and pick any Bible text and apply it to 1914 and change it all together. There's no spiritual aspect of any of these changes. It's a legal roadmap. I agree.
she
I mean, I think they could just change anything, though. Like you said, Jeff, like could potentially alter 1914. Who knows? But although that is their foundation of the religion, so. But at the same time, these people are willing to listen to the governing body no matter what, right? It seems like.
But I grew up. I don't know. Have I ever told anybody how I grew up? I don't think I have. I grew up in a home. My dad was an agnostic. My mother was holiness. I don't know if you guys know what holiness is, but man,
Yeah,
Oh, they're
I work with the
oneness,
form.
oneness Pentecostal, they call them, don't they?
yeah, Pentecostal.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
He didn't.
So-
he didn't go. It just.
I
his
went with
mom.
my mom when I was a kid. Then I
Couple
went
times.
with her later on, but I didn't have my mother. My dad had sole custody. My mom and dad divorced when I was 6. So
Oh, I got to read this.
Uh.
I heard the annual meeting will change the thoughts on the instrument Jesus died, staked to Christ. Has anyone else heard that?
oh wow,
Well, that would
I
be-
have not heard that.
No,
but
that would be a massive
crazy.
one.
that would be a massive one. Wow.
Okay, we'll see. We'll find out in October. That's when they have their annual
You're
meeting.
now allowed to wear crucifix necklaces. at the
They're
meeting.
gonna split. They're gonna split off into 2 gangs: the stakes and the crosses.
Oh boy.
That's crazy.
I
So
know it's a pagan symbol.
anyway, I went to a Baptist church. My grandfather was Baptist and my grandmother was Catholic, but the Catholic church some. And my dad he didn't believe in Western religions, or Middle Eastern religions. He did not believe in it at all. Now he's a Christian. Figured that one. But I remember him cursing God when I was a kid because he was like, look, you can say this and nothing will happen to you. It's just some white man's. My dad's half native. Okay. So I know that sounds crazy. I look mostly white, but he had issues. He grew up in a time I didn't see, But, and obviously my mother was white. So he really, and he was a professor of all crazy things, but I had some of that belief in me of that. What's real? What's true? Is any of this real? So I looked at it more as a history book than as a religious or theological guideline. I didn't look at it that way. I saw it's just a history book. I'll read it. It's Jewish history. And it really, when you start looking into religions, and I studied with Scientologists, studied with LDS, I had family that was LDS. Went to the church with them. And then I found out, it's just like there's God, there's Jesus, I believe it, but you don't really believe until you see things that make you believe, and you have that feeling inside you. And when my dad got baptized and become a Christian, that made me believe, because if it can change him, anything can.
Right.
And then I met her,
and I believe Jehovah's Witness religion.
She was a hardcore. You guys just don't know. Look, when I first met her, she sneezed. I said, bless you. And the next thing out of her mouth was, don't say that. and I picked on her for a long time about it. She's like, "No, you're not supposed to say that."
But I will admit I didn't ever read any of their literature from start to finish.
You told me it was satanic. It was
The Watchtower?
no, any other literature.
No, I didn't read the literature
Oh,
of the Watchtower. I didn't read any books all the way through, except for like what we had to read for the book study or whatever. But I never did anything on my own because I didn't like reading.
We were on the same level.
Yeah, and then I'd
Yeah,
start to read
me
and I
too.
would get frustrated. I don't know, maybe that's my little critical thinking skills coming out. I was like, I don't like this.
well, I didn't really have a great education. I was been on my own since I was 15.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of, my education is really a give to myself by reading.
Yeah.
The only book I read from start to finish was Mankind's Search for God.
Do what?
Huh?
No, the only book I remember reading like repeatedly
Oh.
was Mankind's Search for God.
I read parts of it, but like I said, I never read anything all the way through. I probably should.
Isn't that, Jeff? That's quite. That's interesting because that book, right? I thought to myself, here is Watchtower telling everybody, well, the members, I mean, the rank and file, don't take any literature from, the Buddhists or the, other churches and so on. Don't look at that. It's going to make you think, oh, don't study other philosophy, or don't go to university because you're going to be studying about evolution. And then they go and print a book, Mankind's Search of God, because it gives you the outline of Buddhism, Hinduism, and anything else you want to. I'm like,
Well,
okay,
what was
so
interesting to me is because at the end of each section, they would say, okay, well, this is why it's not the truth. But it was like,
yeah.
I didn't care about that part. When I would read it, it was interesting, but then also I would use it to ask people, like if somebody's Shinto, if somebody's Buddhist, to ask them questions about their beliefs. Not necessarily that I wanted to get into it, but I was curious.
Yeah.
It was a way for me to try to explore my curiosity.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
And living in LA, man, it was everywhere. It was every religion, every cult, everything you could think of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, same like in London. London's the same. Everyone,
Yep.
it's a big melting pot of multicultural, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Because you get to see and pretty much everything is there. But then you do have some interesting conversations on the park bench with people who's like people are saying, I'm telling you, recently I've had some very bizarre conversations where suddenly the guy I thought was I'm not questioning his where he's coming from, but like he believes he comes from another galaxy and so on. And I said, okay, well, if that's how you feel, great, no problem. But what can I say? That's your experience, because I think he had a near-death experience, and this is quite common. So what I said to him was, interestingly, I said, okay, so you get people who had near-death experiences, they float up to the ceiling and they look down and they see themselves, which I don't doubt it happens. Something's there because so many people have had similar experiences, but then they are Christian and they say they've gone to heaven and met Jesus, and then you're saying you went to another galaxy and met your alien origin, blah, blah, blah. So who's right? I said, this is a question of, I'm not challenged. And I said to him, he got a bit upset with me. So I said, I just had to sort of leave the conversation. But my point I was trying to say to him was, your experience doesn't necessarily give you a sure anchor as to what reality is. That's your experience. And, you can be fully convinced. And maybe Ellen G. White or others, where they had those experiences, they had a very, very convincing experience as to, they felt they'd been spoken to by an entity or a god. Maybe they were. I don't know. But they were definitely being whispered to by some sort of influence, I believe, anyway.
Well, getting hit by a rock didn't help.
Oh,
Sorry?
I said her getting hit in the head by a rock didn't help.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, this guy had a car accident, he said, and then after that he was visited, and he said he died. He definitely died, and he went somewhere, and they brought him back. And I said, well, look, I said this is a question of worldview differences, And you know what's interestingly, why I'm bringing this up is because I thought to myself, I could actually have a conversation with somebody and just accept what they're saying to me as that's fine. That's you're telling me, and we could never do that as witnesses. We were panicking, and where's my opportunity to give them the truth? When is I can't get a word in because he's telling me, but I'm gonna give them. It's almost like you feel obligated to just give them some sort of message that's going to steer them towards the to the thing. And I'm glad that we don't have to have that burden, like Ruby was saying earlier. It's not for us to kind of worry about what the outcomes of things are going to be. That's in God's hands. If you believe in overshadowing God, which I'm still a believer. I still hold my faith in Christ and in Christianity, but not in the same way as before. It's just very simple now. For me, it's very simple. It's just John 14 verse 6 and John 5 verse 24. Like, if you believe in the Son, and this is my personal take on it, is it extracting myself from the Watchtower, and it's messing with my head with all the extras. It's like they don't even tell you the gospel, but since we're talking about these subjects, they don't even really talk about the gospel. But most of the constructions that we see around us it's like gospel plus or cult plus. It's always something extra you got to do to show your loyalty to that particular sect or group. And I just said, no. I'm just simple.
Mm-hmm.
The simple message of the word, and that's all I'm interested in. And yeah, that's how I try to move forward. But yeah,
that's good.
I don't know why my mind goes all over the place. Sometimes I don't even know why I start talking about something.
Well, I like to call that religious hang-ups.
Yeah,
they're hung up on something.
Yeah,
but it should just be basic stuff like the 10 Commandments and accepting Jesus.
Yeah.
I like this. My 80s something JW relative was thinking about 20 years from now, but then caught herself and said, well, the system won't be here in 20 years. But according to
the new
article, we very well, they could live. Of course they will. But I want to ask my mom about that too. And then reasonable to conclude says before 2013, it was believed that Jesus selected the JW governing body in 1918. Oh, yes. But it was on the Watchtower of 2013, July 15th, that they added a footnote that the new understanding is not 1918, but a period of time of 1914 to 1919. Did you all know that?
That Watchtower was a very, very important Watchtower to have on your record. That July 15, 2013. It's good that that was brought up, because that was the very last study I done at the Kingdom when I walked out.
Right.
Honestly, that was the. I tell you, I was sitting there. It was paragraph 2 of the Faithful and Discreet Slave article, and it said, "Your relationship with God depends on this channel." On the channel, your relationship with God depends on whether you recognize the governing body as your. And I went, no, I'm gone. I got up, and I went back to the Kingdom Hall, out the Kingdom Hall, out the door, and I never came back. That was
really,
that was the last time. But I was already reading the Gentile Times for about a year, 6 months, 6 or 7 months already. So I was technically a short time I was a PMO in that period, but that was like, how dare you? I mean, it's bad enough saying that they're trying to reestablish in that July 15 that they're who they say they are. And there was a lot of adjustments in their understanding in those ones, like too many to mention, but there was a series of articles, and that was one of them that just thought, no, you guys seriously again, I just thought, nah. I've had enough. It's too much.
That's true. We got a new person here.
Who is it?
Oh, it's Grow. I know.
Grow.
Hey.
Hey, Grow.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Thanks for coming in.
I'm good. I came in on the stream on the YouTube stream late, I don't like coming in late, but I had stuff doing, and very interesting topics. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Well, me and I know Grow. I know Grow. We know each other, so it's nice to see you here as well. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
We're talking about my favorite subject is 607.
Yes, I know that's your favorite subject. I
It
know
seems
that.
everybody has.
You're an
Everyone seems to
expert.
be interested in it. Yeah, everyone seems to be interested in. It's so important. I don't understand how they can just wash it over like it's nothing. I just don't understand that. But yeah.
If they change that one, I'm telling you that's big. That's big.
Oh, they'll change it.
I think it's
They'll
possible
change it.
they'll change it.
They'll
do
change
too.
it.
Yeah. Ruby, what do you think? You think they'll change it?
I'm sorry, ask the question again.
Do you think they'll change 1914?
I thought they kind of did when they said the generation new understanding.
The overlapping one?
Yeah, that's what it was. Overlapping generation. I kind of thought that was that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but
they
they
still
still
using-
think, that Jesus took the throne in heaven in 1914.
They still use that.
Yeah, the 607.
Yeah, that's true.
I had this.
okay.
I sometimes. Sorry, go on, Rubes.
Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah, I don't think they would because that's too. I think that's too important for them. It'll mess up the whole timeline.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to prove that it's ridiculous.
The only thing I can think of that they could possibly try and use some sort of weird eisegesis, which is my favorite word that I keep saying all the time. It's this word in Greek that means people who a type of argument. So you've got two words, eisegesis and exegesis, and eisegesis is pushing your own meaning into a verse out of context. So if you see a verse, is like you completely ignore everything around that verse, but you try and say, well, it means this, and then you just put your own you make it be whatever you want it to be, and that's what Watchtower does all the time with everything. With the doctrines, but in this case with 607, I'm thinking they could maybe turn around and say, well, actually, in the 70s there was an elder who said that it was 607 was not the right day and it's 587, which means that the true date of Christ's return would have been 1934, which, hang on a minute, that was a year before Rutherford started the Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, if Watchtower does this, I've got new light. That means I'm the one who gave them new light, because this reason is coming straight out of my it's coming straight out of my own kind of logic that they might use some kind of weird reasoning to try and say that 607 was not correct all of a sudden. But then you have the problem now is if they say that, they have to completely destroy their entire history of what they've said.
I think they would do that.
They've done it before.
I think they would, because they look at other cults or other religions that have rebranded completely, did a completely 360 degrees, such as the Worldwide Church of God, when the founder or the president, or I can't remember, Neil Armstrong, was it Neil Armstrong? Armstrong was his last name. When he died, they had to change a lot of teachings. Mind you, a lot of people left the church, but the new members that came in, they might or might not be aware of the previous teaching. And the way how Watchtower is doing things now, where they don't have a lot of printed material anymore. Everything is on their website or on their library that they can go in and change at any time. When they make a change or an update to something, if you have the JW library, pay attention. It will tell you it needs updating, or this book needs updating, or that book needs updating. So in my opinion, this is what I think they would do. They would eventually get rid of the 1914 teaching or change it completely, but they're going to erase it from their digital history. Not a lot of people have books. Only if you go to the Russellites and get the original books from the Russellites, yeah, but not a lot of witnesses have the physical books. The ones who have it are the ones who have left. They're considered apostates. New people will not listen to apostates unless they are brave and venture out onto platforms like this to hear what apostates have to say. But everybody else who is dedicated, PIMI, they don't listen to apostates. Guess what? They're gonna follow the leader. They're going to follow whatever the new light is, and they're going to completely forget 1914, because a lot of witnesses don't even know about 1975. As a matter of fact, they say, "Oh, we never said that the world will come to an end at that time." Even older witnesses tend to forget. When something is drilled into you over and over again, it creates new memories. Guess what happened to the old memories? They get locked away. So I think that they are going to make a complete change to the 1914 doctrine, and the faithful witnesses who are in will follow along. That's my take.
And
Yeah,
Grog,
I think you're right in that.
to go along with what you were saying, is think about, and this is why I think it'll be easy, and I agree with you 100%, is think about what it was like going in service in the 80s and 90s. That's my generation. When how prepared you had to be. Like, we had our reasoning book. You had to be on your game, and you had to be ready for people at the door to give them an answer. Nowadays, like, think about how casual it is to be a witness or to witness to people. You just point people at the website. There's no in-depth study. The Watchtowers aren't twice a month and Awakes twice a month. It's like, what, once or twice a year, and they're 15 pages. There's no energy that actually goes into studying to be a witness. You know, the people studying now don't put any thought into the deeper stuff with like 1914 or 6 or 7. It's surface level at best, and they'll tell you, if you ask them, to go look at jw.org. So if that's the overall culture, if that's the overall level of understanding or thinking or study that they put into being a witness, think about how easy it is to just make it go away.
Yeah. It's just like removing Russell's pyramid. You know, you give it a couple of years, people will never even know that pyramid existed there.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's questioned it. I mean, you very rarely hear anybody mention the fact they moved it.
I want to know where it's gone. Maybe it's in.
They destroyed it.
Anthony Morris's back garden as a water fountain. I was thinking,
they applied for the permits to move it, and it was the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society that applied for it, and they applied to remove it, to basically destroy it, just to have it removed.
I think they had too many people actually going there and filming what's going on, and you know, their background history. There are people going in. I saw so many videos on. There's one called what's her name? Carly 75. I think she's a Christian lady that she went there with her cameras and was basically talking about the pyramid and what its significance is to the Watchtower. So I think too many people were doing that, and it must have been not good PR for Watchtower, obviously. But I got a question. I got a question based on this last thing you guys were saying about. Okay, they're not interested in that. Jeff was saying that they don't have a very streamlined recruitment now, with hardly anything being really deeply looked at. So what's bringing them into the organization then? Oh, yeah. How are they locking their minds into this is the truth? How are they doing that? Because for me it was they were different maybe to other churches. They had a more a better understanding of scriptures and so on, and that was obviously more. It was doctrinal reasons why I
think this is one of the things that had me when I was going through my questioning phase with Splain, and this will kind of explain it. One of the, besides being born in, is when Splain, and this like had alarm bells going off. When Splain was talking about like apostates and literature and talking to people and bad reports and all this other stuff. One of the things he said is, okay, so even if this information is true, like the apostates, how does it make you feel? And that told me instantly where this religion, where these groups are going, or where this group is going. It's not an intellectual exercise anymore. It's almost entirely about how you feel about it, how it makes you feel. And I think, the only chance they really have to get to anybody door to door or on any kind of public ministry is what they've always used. But now it's pretty much what they depend on entirely. It's not about trying to get somebody to think about doctrine. It's all about, okay, how is this going to feel? Oh, you have a all of us know, anybody listening to this knows how we were trained in service. Like the only reason you would keep making the rounds in the neighborhoods at the doors is because, and this is sickening to say it, is we were waiting for somebody to have a tragedy.
Yeah.
So that we can talk to them about our hope, about this is what we think of the Bible. And it had nothing to do with what you thought intellectually. It was all about how you feel. So I say all that to say, basically all they have now is to tap into, all these videos are about making people feel good about paradise. Make people feel about something that you might not see at church. That's different. So I think the only real recruiting tool they have now is emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yep. Watchtower
I think they should
to go mainstream to survive the internet age. And I wonder if any of their teachings are sacred enough to hold on to under threat of losing tax-exempt status. That is a good question. I mean, they don't really have any.
Actually, for them to lose tax-exempt status, Jim Bakker done the same thing they're doing. So this is kind of funny if you start looking into it. They have, except they're doing it on steroids, they have like 1,000 umbrella companies. That is proof it's there. A federal judge would have to break the corporate veil to be able to get that information from those umbrella companies, but they're doing it they're taking the money, investing it into real estate, which that's not a problem if you're a nonprofit, but they're doing it as a way to hide the money.
Yep.
Then it becomes illegal. So they're hiding money to keep it from the lawsuits hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, very, very illegal. That's they got a name for it. I forget exactly the word, but Jim Bakker did that as well. Several other people have done it. And that's what actually got it. Wasn't the fact he paid Jessica Hahn money. The fact it was the fact he was misusing his funds when he was a nonprofit organization.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's what they're doing. The exact same thing, besides they're doing it on steroids. So, yes, could they be liable? Of course. And sooner or later, they are going to get caught in that. The people, if anybody has information, I mean, they should reach out to NBC News, their tips line, and email them. You don't have to put your name out there. And just tell them what assets you know that they actually own. And there's a reason for that. But go ahead and just tell them. And that's New York Times is a good one if you wanted to go to them, but NBC News tip line, because eventually their house of cards will fall.
Yeah.
Take some time.
It's coming. It's just a matter of time. The clock is ticking, and all these. What's really turned everybody's eye on them is all the CSA cases. Now everybody is looking at them.
Yeah.
I think they're trying. I think also to go with what you just said, Anthony, is I think they are steering. I believe they're steering the organization into the direction of TV-based, subscription-based kind of membership.
Yes,
I think that's going to happen at some point because there's no other logical reason to have a Hollywood-style studio, all that investment to put on these high-profile productions if you're going to just do cheesy dramas and whatever, you're going to be ramping that up. Because I'm thinking to myself, I don't see any other way. But that would make a lot of sense because then somebody in the privacy of their own home, as you're saying, Jeff, the emotional triggers to feel whatever comfort or some sorts of connection with the organization, is going to go straight into that. They'll quite happily donate and pay something each month to have access to something that makes them feel good in there.
Hey, just look at all the people that did that. Oral Roberts, Swagger, the guy that looks crazy that flies in jets, can't think of his name. All these televangelists, they've all done it, every one of them, and they've made a killing doing it.
Yeah. Oh, just on a side note, Anthony, you were saying about Kenneth Copeland, right? I just saw something on him the other day. Kenneth Copeland, right? He there's a guy called I forgot he done this chap who done a review on. Kenneth Copeland during his sermons interrupts himself and goes and says, "Oh, yes, Lord. Okay, I'll tell them that. I'll tell them that."
Oh, I saw it. Yes.
Did you see that? Okay. Yes, sir. I'll tell them that. Yes, sir. I mean, come on. You're saying, I mean, we have, well, we have the closest thing I thought of that was Samuel Hurd saying it's not the governing body saying this, it's not
Right.
the organization, but
Yeah.
this is coming from Jehovah. At least you said it past tense.
Right.
That's like, at least you said, at least Samuel Hurd didn't sort of interrupt himself and say, oh, hang on a minute. Hold on. Hot message
now.
coming straight from heaven. Yeah, I just got a text. Let me read it. Okay, I'll tell them that. That's a new light. I'll tell them that. You know, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, to be honest with you. But he stops himself in mid conversation to his audience, as if Jesus is actually talking to him. And I thought, oh gosh,
What's the guy's name? Oh my Lord. Guy in Texas, the richest televangelist of them all. Olstein.
Was it Joel Osteen?
Yeah.
I call him fake. I
call
him Michael Hasselhoff fake. Michael Hasselhoff.
yeah, no.
That's what
He does look like him.
He's a fake
He's like
Hoff. The Hoff.
Bronson and Hasselhoff had a kid. That's what he was.
Yeah.
Like.
So you were saying about Joel Osteen.
Happy thoughts. Thank you for coming in. Happy thoughts and ST co-pilot. They had to go.
Oh, thank you. Happy thoughts. Always great to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the UK. It's getting kind of late there, guys. What time is it, Maverick?
11:30. That's early for me. This is.
Oh yeah,
I'm just waking up.
Yeah.
11:30. I'm just.
Sleep in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because Sundays, man, when we were doing them on Sundays, all you guys in the UK had to work, you know.
Yeah. No, I'm a night owl. I've mentioned it before. I'm a night owl. If I don't have something really, really urgent I have to get up for in the morning, then yeah, I can manage it quite well. You know.
I'm trying to not be a night owl anymore. Terrible at it.
I know we always talk about it like every day. We're like, okay, we're gonna go to bed early tonight. It'll still be like 1 a.m.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Most of my family growing up were early birds, so like they're bright and happy and everything. I'm like, how can you be this, like first thing in the morning, it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, nah, I need a couple of caffeine fix before I start to wake up properly. You know.
I grew up in a small.
I'm a baker by
farming.
I'm a baker by profession. I'm sorry.
Oh
no, yeah, I'm a baker by profession, but I hate mornings. I absolutely hate mornings.
Oh, baker.
So I actually have to
Jeff.
work 2 or 3 hours before everybody else, so I can deal with them when they get in.
Jeff, my first job, age 16 and something, was in a bakery, and that killed me, man. It's 4 o'clock starts. Like I just couldn't get that. Oh, and it was the summer as well, and like no, I respect that the early morning. Goodness.
I need silence and I need to start slow. When people go there like with music blasting, I'm like, no, you guys, I can't be around you.
See, I grew up in the country, man. Farming, hunting, all that stuff. Getting up at crack of dawn. Moved to LA. Haven't been a daytime person since. I was a musician on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm a bass player by trade.
I like what that girl had said, millions now leaving will never sigh. And then Leroy says Rutherford was an encyclopedia salesman before he found the so-called truth. And he was like a really good cult leader, actually.
Oh, Rutherford was, look, Adolf Hitler was brilliant, crazy, but brilliant. Kind of like Voldemort. But
from Harry Potter.
But Rutherford's brilliant. He wasn't stupid. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of narcissists,
like brilliant and mean and evil at the same time.
Yeah. Right. A lot of narcissists have a lot of charisma. That's how they work very hard to create a persona. So they are the ones who are, unfortunately, the CEOs of companies, whatever big positions, because they strive hard to get to they push themselves forward. They don't care who they step on, and that is very common. That's why you said people like in history, like Hitler and so on. Yeah, they had a charisma about them. It's sinister, but they managed to captivate people's attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. And then the successor to Rutherford was someone who was even better. He was like a polished military style kind of guy, even though he'd never been in the military, was Knorr. Knorr took it to another level.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Nor tends to slip through my radar. I kind of have a lot of references apart from like Frederick Franz and the others, but Nor somehow I know what he looks like, and obviously I have a reference over him, but I don't really know. Apart from the fact that he was not very favorable, he didn't care about education too much. Apparently, he was. I
Right.
don't know. I don't like using the word simpleton, but I don't know whether he had an issue with not being educated in some way, or I don't know. If he had it hung up on that, I don't know.
I
Something
think
like
he
that.
and Frederick Franz were very close. Franz is who
Yeah.
baptized
I
him.
think Franz used to be the one, even though Nor was president, Franz used to be the one to give guidance to Nor.
Yeah,
I think
that's
so,
true.
from what I
They
read. So
polished it.
any decisions that was to be made, Nor didn't make the decision without Franz giving the okay to it, even though Franz wasn't the president.
They polished that organization from what Rutherford had created. They took it and polished it and made it into what it is today, though. It was made it more made them more devout, more hardcore into their beliefs, and cracked down on the rules and pushed it a little bit further.
So Ruby, no, do I remove you or do you remove yourself from the stage? Because she said she's got to go.
Oh, Ruby, thank you for coming, dear.
But
Yes, thank you so much
Bye,
for
Ruby.
having me
Bye,
on.
Ruby.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, Ruby.
Bye.
okay.
Now, was Ruby disfellowshipped from the stage or removed? Which language are we going to use?
Thanks for saying that, because I was thinking that too.
Was you thinking
We
that, Jeff?
disfellowshipped Ruby.
I mean, goodness me, that
Here, or do I have to do it?
She did.
She was
Yeah,
self-disfellowshipped.
Gosh, let me.
she lost her privileges.
she disassociated from the chat.
But I was just wondering, can you tell me? Do I have to remove you, or do you?
No, I've got there is a leave studio button on the bottom there, so
Sure.
I guess otherwise we'd be held to ransom until,
I was so glad she come on.
Yeah. Thank you for coming in today, and I just want to shout out to some people I haven't said hello to: Butterfly Clean, and Mr.
That girl?
D, that girl, Kev X. Let's see. Born JW. Time will pass. I know what you said about us staying up late. That's true, but that's okay. That's my norm. Okay. Is that anybody? Did I miss anyone else? I know. Dallas.
Oh yeah, Dallas.
And let's see. The CO visit. I have been reading your comments. Homo sapien. I love that name, by the way. And Jenny Parfume.
Oh, she's on all right.
Yeah.
I missed her getting on.
Okay. And we had some new people in here too, so that was cool.
We had a bunch of new people. I don't know if you saw how many we had earlier. Wow.
That girl, and let's see who else. Okay, and Leroy, he's new. So thanks.
Booker T has not been on. I hadn't saw him today.
Yeah. Well, we
always has some really
we were
cool
doing
comments.
it on Sundays. So that
are you still going to do one tomorrow, or
I can't. I have other conflicts.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I must say, I really enjoy the format that you guys have done, because like there are so many, we kind of cover similar subjects on different platforms. I mean, like Rick Ferron's show, and Ruby does something as well with Jimmy Bell, but they do more political stuff. And I like, what I like is the fact that it's just easygoing, and what gravitated towards you two, because like a lot of the people in the chat, we sort of kind of go like a swarm to different. It's like everybody knows, kind of almost like knows each other now. We sort of like, but it's great, and I really appreciate what you're all doing, because like I was saying to you a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, I'm hoping to start maybe a kind of not YouTube based something in the future, like a radio kind of chat show, because I find that a lot of people are up really late and they don't maybe want to be on YouTube. And it's just an easier way of having something like that. I'll try and keep that in to let people know what's going on as it gets closer. And I'm in the middle of a lot of things at the moment, which I can't start it right now, unfortunately. But
definitely let us know as well.
Yeah, but I do like this format, that the live shows and everyone chatting. Oh, Artsy Kim.
Hi, Artsy Kim. you're watching the TV, because I had to come and go to help my mom. Oh, okay. That's okay. Thank you. Thank you for popping in.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone was asking the channel names of the people that were our guests on here. So Ruby has one called the New Yorican. I like
Not a Borican, but a New Yorican.
I know, Jeff, you don't have one. Maverick, do you have a channel?
I do have a channel, but it's got nothing on it right now. It's got nothing on it basically. But if someone wants to get a hold of me, I can always write my an email in the chat if anybody wants to reach out at another time. But I have got something in the pipeline. I'll let everyone know when it makes sense to say. But I can put my email, my public email, in the chat if it helps.
We lost somebody else too. Where did they go?
Grow.
Yeah.
She left. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't really.
Yeah, I would shoot Maverick an email.
Yeah. There's a few people that kind of that I like the fact that everyone's just chilling and it's not too heavy all the time, because sometimes you get on, as you mentioned before, it can get quite heavy. I mean, we've all had some very stressful situations and a lot of emotional trauma from this religion, and I sometimes, I mean, maybe I come across kind of, I try to be lighthearted, not because I don't take anything seriously, but it's a way of just releasing and just getting on with your life. For me, it's like I need to feel like I'm humorous and I enjoy the banter that everybody brings to the table.
Yeah.
It's needed. We need to
true.
laugh.
We gotta laugh too. Like this guy, Rutherford was so drunk one time that they had to carry him to the stage. How would he be able to give a talk?
Well, when he was a judge, he went in drinking and he.
That's right. He was like drunk when he went to go be a judge at work.
We know with some people, they have a way about them that it's almost like, because they you see what narcissists do, they throw tantrums.
Yes.
Rutherford comes across the sort of person that would throw in a massive hissy fit if he doesn't get his own way. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why nobody had the courage to say anything to him, because either he'll just kick them out of Bethel or something. All the people around him must have been yes people. I think that's probably the only reason why they stay in that kind of way about it, because people just don't like the drama.
Right, and I agree with Jenny. It's good that no one on here is judgmental, and that's the thing, is like we just have to respect everyone's journey and beliefs and whatever it is today. And unfortunately, most of us have some trauma with the religion, and either we've lost family or, some people suffering PTSD and stuff like that. So we do have to be sensitive to those things as well.
So you play, Maverick, you play music. So what kind of music are you into?
Okay, so yeah.
Not to change the subject. I'm just curious. I gotta know.
No, of course. Well, this is interesting because I was always into guitar, I think, from sort of like 13, 14. Well, actually, my mum got me a violin for my first instrument when I was 6, but I never took to it. I just turned it around and tried to play it like a guitar when I was. I realized, why am I doing this? I need to get a guitar. So I've always been into music. I played a lot. Basically, a lot. I was in my teens. I was quite rebellious in the sense. I think it was a reaction to being very, very heavily in the organization in my late teens. So when Guns N' Roses came out, boy, I was like 87. On the way to, I heard "Welcome to the Jungle" for the first time. Although before that, I was still into the Kinks and the Stones and everything that was around the music of the 80s, like Van Halen, as we were saying a couple of weeks ago. So I was a big into guitar music, really, rock and roll, rock. Then went to hard rock and metal-ish, but I always kind of hovered around hard rock. I just loved it. I just wanted to play guitar. I wanted to be a rock star. What teenager doesn't want to be a rock star?
Right. It's funny you mentioned G&R. I saw those guys back when oh Lord,
92.
Tracy Guns was still with them. And they used to play the clubs out in LA on the strip.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, man, is it was a joke to go see them because you didn't know which band you would get. Were they going to be, intoxicated on something and fighting on stage, or were they going to be really together and be the best show you probably ever saw? It was crazy.
Was this LA Guns before? Was it before the group formed?
Before LA Guns, the Tracy Guns and Axl Rose actually started that band.
Yeah.
And when Axl kicked Tracy out, he kept the name.
Right. Well, that's interesting because I still remember it. It was 87. I'm 14 years old. And I'm on the way to school and the radio was on. I heard "Welcome to the Jungle." I went, "What on earth is this?" It's like boof, because we had a different kind of, and there was still solos in it, and Slash is Slash. So I mean, I've calmed down now. I mean, I'm now 52, so I've kind of I've chilled more. I'm not as much, but I had and so what? Interesting in the mid 90s. I know we're going off on a music tangent, but sorry, Casey's going, here we go.
I was just curious, I had to know because
but I mean, I learned to play myself. I was just fiddling around, and funny enough, my study conductor he played guitar. He was into Dire Straits at the time, and so I kind of like Mark Knopfler and so on, and I wanted to play the guitar. And I had this beaten up old Strat that I got from the local shop, which was so difficult to play, and I thought, I'm rubbish at this. I'm not going to get anywhere. And then I picked up his Gibson. I went, oh my goodness me, this is like, I can play something. And so I realized I had to go and buy a guitar, a real one, not like a fake kind of knockoff Strat. So that was really my introduction, and it's never gone away. I started learning how to produce music and stuff. I wanted to have a full career in it, but I couldn't because there was no outlet for kind of working in that environment unless you had a band. So when I was at college, when I went back to college, Nirvana started to become big, mid 90s and so on, early 90s, and I just thought, I don't like this. There's no solos. Where are the solos gone?
I'm the same way, man. I love that.
And so it was kind of like that. My life has always been around guitars, but I have actually not played for a while now because I need to get back into it. Basically, so I picked up the bass by pure necessity because the band that I wanted the bass player, and there was no bass player, and I always I like bass, so I pay bass more than I play the guitar now. Funny enough.
It's so funny how I've changed my musical taste and style. Like, I like a lot of funk. I like a lot of jazz. Where I was a rocker, like Thin Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy. Exactly. We're in the same kind of
all those London bands, it's all those English bands.
It crossed over so much. It crossed over. The American influenced the English went back and influenced the States.
You guys had all my favorite bands though. Jeez. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. We
have to do our own show after. We've got to do a different show.
You guys should do a Kingdom Melodies metal cover band.
That would be funny.
Hey, but back, you're right.
Well, Welcome to the Jungle will probably, Welcome to the Jungle will probably be quite appropriate for going to the meeting. Actually,
do Armageddon by Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Oh no, like find a Kingdom Melody and turn it to like a metal cover.
Armageddon.
Right. Homo sapiens said that he wasn't allowed to listen to Def Leppard Hysteria because of Armageddon and Gods of War. I like to what someone else said here, that C.T. Russell was buried in a Roman togel.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
it's funny.
I don't know why he asked for that. That was crazy. Did anybody ever figure out why?
Freemasonry, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah,
and they still kind of have a little bit of the Freemason stuff because the governing body members use those rings. Masonic rings, aren't they?
When I was reading that stuff, Fisher's wife had his diary, and I was like, man, so that's really true. He was buried in Toga. I was like, that's crazy.
Okay, supposedly Rutherford's buried under cement at Bethlehem. Okay, talk about haunted.
Yeah,
that I heard.
I wouldn't
heard
want to
that.
go live in that house.
it's the smell of bourbon every
You're
day.
like, yeah, right.
Man, think about that. Here this guy is in San Diego with 100 acres of land, orange orchards, everything, and he owns a mansion of a house. You know what 100 acres is worth in San Diego on the
Oh, that's
beach?
what,
Plus, he had 2 Cadillacs.
yeah.
Okay, that's, yeah.
If
100
he's
acres,
buried,
there you go.
if he's still buried in his garage, underneath his garage,
Yeah.
that means he must still maybe thinking that he's going to be resurrected with the rest of the.
Abraham, Isaac, and
I want
Jacob.
my house back. I want my house back. I want to claim this house, getting the resurrection. So I'm going to be buried right here.
Yeah.
I'm coming back with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, you said something a while ago. We do keep this lighthearted on purpose because if you guys knew all the trauma that we dealt with when she woke up and when she was disfellowshipped, geez.
And I'm reinstated, but it's it was basically like, it was just, I believed, I got this fellowship while I believed, and then I woke up while I was this fellowship
And cried for 2 months.
I had to like pretend that I believed to get reinstated. And one of the questions was, the very first thing they asked me in my judicial committee is, why do you want to be one of Jehovah's Witnesses? And I was like, because this is Jehovah's one true organization. I mean, what else are you going to say? You know? So you just have to lie.
So you got reinstated to basically just because of family and so on, or
just family.
right? Yeah, I get that. I get that.
She's a third generation. So
But at first,
Yeah.
and then when I didn't believe anymore, if it wasn't for some family, I wouldn't have bothered with it.
Yeah, I was kind of fortunate that my brother was like you, and Anthony. He had a study, but he had issues about the 144,000. He bolted earlier, but he had in the short time he was around it, he got heavily affected by everything. And then my mum woke up kind of at the same time, it's a little bit after me or similar, but for different reasons, the United Nations. So it was so we all kind of left. So our whole family left kind of at the same time, roundabout. So I didn't have anybody I left behind that I would have felt, apart from really close friends. That whoever you leave behind, it's painful. There's people like you meet every week. Whether we actually kind of were close to any of the people, it's still like a familiarity. In the Kingdom Hall, the same faces every week. And my group was very, very close. Like we used to really I used to like the book study because it was like a little mini family in our congregation. Sometimes you get that kind of vibe, and we did. So we used to do a lot of activities together our week. So I like that. And so when you leave all that, it's a massive vacuum. It's a huge. I mean, for the first year and a half, maybe I was like in the wilderness. Like I just had no friends. No contact with nothing. Like first time I'm talking to the local people in my area. I'm like having small kind of basic kind of trivial conversations just to spark up a conversation with someone because there was just no one to talk to, you know? And yeah, that was hard. So I understand where you're coming from, Casey. It's like it's a huge hit.
Yeah.
On and everyone's got their own experience.
Yeah.
I was going to ask Jeff how it was for him breaking away from.
Well, my story, everybody's story is different, and there's certain nuance. But anyway, when I actually woke up, I had moved to a different part of the country, so I was in a situation where I didn't have to. I was already removed from people from my previous circle. I have 2 other brothers, and they both left way before I did, but my parents are still in. So there's a bit of sensitivity to that still. But for the most part, it's, how do I put this? So where I stand now, basically I'm just inactive as far as they know on record. And like I still see people on social media. Like I still might see like Instagram or Facebook, but I don't really interact with anybody. I just kind of see what's going on. And what's hard about that is like I see these people that I knew that I knew for years as Jehovah's Witness, and I was really, really close to. And I see them still going along with all of this stuff in the religion. And like there's one guy I know, I was really close to him, and he's a little bit younger than me. He has a family, he has kids that are probably like 10, 12 years old. But this guy's like educated. He's a high school principal.
Oh, wow.
He's intelligent. When I would talk to him, he would think critically. But then I see stuff on like social media where he's like having his kids like give talks and doing all this stuff with witnesses. And it's sad. It's really sad because I'm like, first of all, I don't know how this guy can be fully believing if he is. And if he's not fully believing, if he's Pimo, like how can he go on with his life like that? So it's for me, it's really, really hard to see that sometimes. There's another friend who had he had a lot of issues, but anyways, he was disfellowshipped once or twice, came back in, and now he's like hardcore in, like a hardcore believer. And I see him, and I'm like, this guy's just going along with all of this stuff, and it's just for me on the outside so blatantly obvious that something is wrong with this organization. But he's like fully in. You know, there's somebody else that I just found out got married. So it's like me, these people I'm not related to anymore. And I see them still kind of stuck in this thing that is just, we should be so clearly like the whole Watchtower Jehovah's Witness thing. There's so many cracks. There's so many things clearly wrong with it. It's getting more and more wrong. But these people that I used to know that are still fully in, it's hard to watch.
That's true.
But me, like, yeah, I really don't have so much contact with my folks. As far as they know, I'm just inactive, and I'm keeping it like that. As far as the reasoning why, I'm not going to volunteer unless they start to ask.
None of their business.
No, I mean, there's certain things too. Like, you know, if I'm the last of the siblings to have left, and they're still fully in. You know, they could have the impression that there's still some hope for me. Well, if they still have that hope for me, who am I to take that hope away? You know, if they want to give that hope up, that's them. But I'm not going to just like force it on them. Like, hey, this is what I think X, Y, Z. But if they want to know, I'll tell them. So everybody's situation. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Have they ever asked you?
No.
Okay.
But if the question comes up, I already know what I'm going to say and how I'm going to handle it.
Well, that's good.
But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if they want to know, I'll tell them what I have to tell them from my end. But like people say, like, because you know the debate goes, you know, should you disassociate? Should you just fade and like not do anything? And that just kind of goes to the idea people think fading is you know, easy. Or it's kind of like the easy way out, and it's like not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah,
because when you disassociate, people know exactly where you stand. You know, if you fade, people still might have the impression that there's this connection that you know isn't there.
Yeah, if you fade, I think I have a friend, a really, I would consider him one of my closest friends now. He's he's awake. He understands the issues. He puts his hands up and says, "Yeah, I know that he's only there. He's actually a PMO, fully fledged PMO, but he's faded. He doesn't go to the meetings much, hardly. So he went to the convention just to show his face, I think, for his family. And I said, I don't know how you do it. I said to him, and he said, I don't know how I do it, to be honest, because it's too much. It's work because everybody's kind of like assuming everything's okay, or they put you in a category of. Well, they don't go to meetings anymore, but they're still kind of all right, and there's nothing really alarming them in their speech. So you have to kind of almost know the lingo of how to approach people in in your kingdom or around you or family and so on. So that's quite a lot of work. I personally had no reason, as it was clear cut for me, because there was enough. If say for example it was my wife or my entire family who were witnesses still, that would be a huge problem. That would be a real difficult challenge. So for me, it was a bit more easier to manage, because I just said, right, I know what I need to do. I'm out. And apart from the hit of the actual community, of not being in the community anymore, that was it. I got used to the idea that, okay, they're not going to talk to me anymore, and that's it. Except for one time when I actually forgot I was disassociated. So I'm walking up the high street and I see one person in my hall, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then he bolted into the middle of the road and nearly got himself run over to try and avoid me.
Goodness.
Yeah, and I went, "Oh my goodness! Of course, he's scared of me now. I'm like the boogeyman or the,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was weird. And I thought, oh yeah, of course, they can't talk to me, innit?
And like Jenny said, when she woke up, like you couldn't stay, you just couldn't. So for me, I say I was questioning for 8 years, even though I knew at some point I was done. But I say I was questioning for 8 years. But like the moment I looked at outside literature and outside research in 48 hours, I say it all came crashing down. And after that, like I could not go to another meeting. Before that moment, with all these questions I had, it was really hard. The anxiety, all this other stuff. It was hard, but I was still going. But the moment, like the very moment I did outside research and found out what I found out, I said, I'm like, I cannot go to another Kingdom Hall. I can't. I can't do it.
What do you think, Jeff, has got all these people leaving? Like, there's a mass exodus. It's obvious a mass exodus.
Man, there's so much to it. What I think is as far as like at the top, the governing body, these guys that are running it don't really know how to run an organization. And I don't think that they're really the ones running it. They might be the faces, if I'm going to sound like I do conspiracies, but whatever.
Right.
If you're like any typical Jehovah's Witness, no matter how high you get in the organization, going back to this education thing, you're going to have limited education. You're going to have a limited understanding of how the world works outside of JW, outside of Watchtower. So if you have a culture of people like that at the top running an organization, they're not going to have the tools to run it. They're not going to know how to do things on an organizational level. They're not going to know how to do things like, as you said, on a PR level. They're not going to know how to manage the machine. And I think that's what we're seeing now, where all of this, like you see all these them giving these announcements, and it's ridiculous. Even something simple as the governing body has decided. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Like, why would you say that? Maybe anybody that works in any kind of like corporate situation, I would imagine, would know that if you want to set some kind of messaging, that's not how you're going to package it.
That's true.
And I think what's happening is people that are open to thinking critically are just seeing how, with the lack of management, with the lack of running it, are seeing this organization, this leadership for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it. I think that's part of it.
Like that song, Homo Sapiens says, listen, obey, and be blessed. I had enough. And actually, I was listening, went to the convention today. So they mentioned about the baptismal questions, or the baptismal talk was, he mentioned 3 things. One is that you should, read and study the Bible. And you're like, okay. Pray to Jehovah. All right. And the last thing was, listen to the faithful and discreet slave. And where is Jesus in this?
How many times did they say that?
Where is Jesus?
Obey the faithful, discreet slave.
The Bible,
too.
Jehovah, and the faithful slave. And where's Jesus? So this is why they're not really Christians. They're Christian light, maybe.
The guy giving the talks that we need to obey the faithful.
Diet cult.
Yeah.
But to me, like what got me, there's so many things that looking back got me, and I can't I cannot imagine that there's a number of people that are thinking these same things in the back of their head.
Yeah.
Is like, for example, for a while I was fascinated with people defecting from North Korea.
Oh man, that's
And
a terrible.
I would
story.
look at this and I would see these interviews of people that left. And
Mhm.
on the inside, they're told about these Americans that kill everybody, and America's
Right.
this and that, and
Brainwash 'em.
like capitalism is the devil.
Mhm.
And then these people escape, and they're interviewed by like a South Korean person trying to reintegrate them into society, and you realize how brainwashed these people are. And there was always this thing in the back of my head where it's like, that kind of feels like what I'm experiencing. Like there aren't physical barriers, but you go to the Kingdom Hall and you're programmed with all this stuff about the world. Okay, the world this, the world that.
Yeah.
And it's like, for me, a few things that got me along the way was there's I would see worldly people doing worldly people
Right.
doing kind things and not expecting anything in return. It's like we're told, okay, if a worldly person's going to be kind to you, they're going to want to get something from you. They're always going to ask that. I mean, that's how I was taught going to the Kingdom Hall. There's always going to be a catch. There's always going to be some kind of expectation. They're going to try to pull you out or whatever. And when you see like,
It's true.
yeah,
Leroy.
exactly, right.
No.
Hey, Leroy, you know what? Hey, speaking of that, when I would see the illustrations from North Korean propaganda, it looked a lot like what I would see like in the publications.
Yeah, I actually watched some documentaries on that too, and I remember like they would try to talk to the people, and they would all say the same thing, right?
Yeah.
There's no independent thinking. Everyone said the same thing, but they were scared too because they have a lot of harsh consequences. So you don't know like who really believed in that and who was just doing it to survive too.
Yeah. But little things like you would see I would see like somebody just be kind and just walk off and not do anything or not expect anything. And we're always told they're going to expect something. And then you see this person that's just kind because they're kind.
Yeah.
Is that, these people that I'm supposed to believe with everything, obviously what they're telling me isn't what I'm experiencing. Little things like that. And I think, even if you're bought into the doctrine or you're bought into the culture, if you're surrounded by enough of things like that, it's going to get to you at some point. Like that cognitive dissonance. I don't know how it is with society now compared to what it used to be like, but I think people are more open to those concepts of like cognitive dissonance, or there's, certain things as far as psychology. People are more open to it, or more
they're more
aware. They're more aware of it.
Yeah,
and I
they're
think
more
that's
aware,
the huge
definitely.
thing that Watchtower has to deal with too.
Hi, Booker.
Hey, Booker T.
Jenny says that there's a scripture, Matthew 23:2, the teachers of the law and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, and that now they replace the teacher of the law with the governing body. Yeah. Well, they put themselves up there with Jesus, or equal to. Yeah.
They're relying on a captive audience, as we know, like that. What's his name? Don Cameron's book, Captives of a Concept. They're relying on that, or relying on rank and file. And I think they've got complacent over the years, GB. I think they've got complacent in the fact that they think that, it doesn't matter what we say. The vast majority are just going to, and this is, I suppose it is true. They've gotten used to compliance, blind compliance.
Yeah.
And so now I think the new the way the internet's working with TikTok and all these fast flowing information, they don't have a way of controlling that anymore. All they can say is stay off anything unofficial and hope that people don't actually have the insight or the courage to do that, to actually check anything. But for me, you know what I used to say, even as a witness, even as a fully believing witness, I used to say, I don't have a problem with checking anyone else's material, because if this is the truth, it will stand.
What are you scared of?
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you scared of? And
Right.
I don't know where that came from. Probably because I was thinking before I was a witness, but I don't think it's exclusive to someone who wasn't a witness before, because many people who are born in have the same logic. So it's just some, I don't know whether some people are not scared of asking the tough questions, I think. And some people just want to stay, they still want to stay in the comfort of the security that they feel in that construct, and they just turn a blind eye to the problems. And
That's true.
yeah,
It's Booker T. You know someone, an elder in your old congregation that was deleted as an elder because his kids went to the university in 1985. Isn't that crazy? And
Yeah.
now it's okay. And do you all remember that leaked elders video that came out maybe a
Yeah.
year ago? Do you remember that? And I can't find it. Does anyone know where I could find that video? Well, it was basically they were like counseling. I think he was an elder. They were counseling him, and his
Yeah.
kids were going to
It
school.
was a circuit overseer and a group of elders counseling another elder.
Right. And
Yeah.
he was like sending his kids to college or something, and they were like, shame on you for doing
yeah,
that.
remember.
So if you I've been trying to find it. I mean, I know, like, I want the unedited version if possible. If anyone knows where I can get that,
Just drop us an email.
Yeah, just send an email.
There is a really good website called Watchtower way back. I think I said it a few weeks ago. It's really good because it has an archive of videos and
Oh, way back. Okay.
yeah, Watchtower way back. I think it's Watchtower way back. And that's really good because it's just like JW Facts, but it has lots of video and old material, which is probably useful if you want to archive something. Because, as we said, they do change things. They slice pieces out of videos to avoid mitigating evidence. You know, it's quite. But
and then maybe if you want to, well, I don't. You sent me that email, right, Maverick? You sent me an email about something you sent me, wasn't it?
No, I'm not sure what. I haven't sent any emails, but I can give you my email now, so you guys can get hold of me.
Okay, I was thinking something.
I'll put...
Okay, you can send an email on factsonjw@gmail.com. Will be fine. Yeah, and I knew that Kim and Mikey had posted a video, but I just was kind of wanting to get the unedited version, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think they play the whole thing.
Oh, do they?
I think so. I watched it.
Okay.
I like Mikey's hair not pulled back. It looked better now. Not that I'm judging guys, but I just like it. It looked cool.
Yeah.
He looked like a rocker.
Oh yeah, and so this was another thing that the elder was portrayed like he was arrogant. You know, they always act like there's some problem with the person they're counseling. Oh, okay. You sent it in the comments there. RC Kim. All right. Okay, this is it here. The link. Okay, cool. So now I need to see if I can.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can get that. Thank you, Kim. I'm gonna see if I can access that because I'd like to save it.
Well, I just do it right here.
Okay. Sorry. My phone died on me, so now I have to.
No, I can't do it that way.
Okay. We'll see. You posted it. Okay. Well, I appreciate you doing that, RT Kim. I'm gonna see if I can somehow get it.
Oh yeah, avoidjw.org is a good one as well. That website is
good.
good.
I was on that website, but I couldn't ever find the video. Let me see if I can get there. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can save this. Well, now I see the information. Oh yeah. But the problem is on Avoid JW, they don't actually have the video. The video is no longer there. It's just the it's like a long information about it. Yeah.
I will check my archive. I may have it because I try to on the Juicy the GB broadcast and stuff that's floating around. I try and archive it as quickly as I can because you never know as these situations. But I'll have a look. Actually, are they sitting around a table like a demonstration? Oh, I might have it.
Yeah, and so like if I see what's on the avoidjw.org, but it's just like a bunch of information, and then the video is no longer there. Oh, right. So they can't play the video, but they have the transcript. So it must have been, maybe it was illegal reasons. Maybe they had to take it down. I don't know. Okay. Well, no worries. We'll find a way.
Yeah, we'll find it. Keep looking.
Right. Okay.
Persistence pays off.
Do y'all want to see any pictures of the assembly?
Well, no, we're going to post a video tomorrow.
Oh, well, we'll just do one quick picture. All right.
All right. You got it here to where they can show it.
Yeah, I can. Okay, y'all.
Did you guys go for the whole day?
No.
Just we
I was going to say.
We just went.
Man, minutes are like hours.
We just went for the morning. We got there on time.
Oh yeah, you show them some of that.
I don't think I could do that.
You see it before the music played.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hats off to you. I get triggered when I see a cart.
Oh man. Maverick? Did you see their video in the Kingdom Hall?
No. What last week?
I only made it halfway through the rest of it. It was hard.
Oh, yeah. Really? Okay. That's funny.
It was hard going there, man.
Oh,
well,
man.
the view of the last week, we were talking about the picture of last week.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
No, it's
so there was
Maverick's there, I think.
We did do a picture, and then
you're a member on the members, right, Maverick?
Yeah. I'm
yeah, I think it's in members.
It's we just did a members only video. Yeah, I just did one yesterday, but also last Sunday last Sunday we did pictures.
Yeah, and we were looking for ones with no ties and so on.
And I am trying to
beards and ties a lot. Hey, this is interesting. The beards thing, I just thought to myself, oh God, I mean, it's such a stupid thing, and I'm thinking, I kind of.
Where's your pictures at?
I don't know.
I think I agree. But the pictures, so the pictures they're not on there because I sent them from my phone to my computer, and they're on a different section now. So they're on the desktop.
Oh.
Which would be desktop right there, but it's not showing up. Oh well.
Just here, let me show you how to do it.
Okay. Sorry about this, guys.
How do I close this?
Right there, cancel.
You do that.
All right, we'll figure it out, hopefully. I like that. Brumley's helpers must be scrambling lately, I know.
Oh, man, Brumley.
Is that what happened to Avoid JW was sued by the governing body? Okay, so must be why they don't have those videos now. Yeah, it's too bad. They're very helpful.
Let's see.
Okay,
what is this?
So we're gonna. I actually have the pictures right here. It's on my desktop.
No,
so
here.
Right there. This picture here. How do I get it over here to the screen?
No, to put it back. Let me show you what you've done. I'm gonna show you something. Hold on.
Sorry. Trying to figure it out. Oh.
Except
Jeff, just to say, I put my email in the private chat of the StreamYard for you. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll get it. Thank you.
I didn't realize you could see the YouTube. I didn't realize you could see the YouTube comments there as well. That's pretty cool.
Do yours that way too.
This is okay. So let's see. We'll have to go here, and we click on image file, and then maybe it's shared.
Photos.
This one. Okay, Here we go. We got a picture finally. All right, we'll add to the stage here. All right, so there's a picture from today. What time did you take that?
I don't know. That was right. That was during the baptism.
Oh, okay.
Triggered.
So people were already
Triggered.
leaving then. But that was
That's where I used to sit. Sorry, Kixie. That's where I used to sit at the back like that. So it almost feels like I'm sitting there right now. Oh my goodness. No, it's all right. I'm teasing. It's okay.
Okay,
I'm
this is
over it
during the
now.
baptism. So there was
Right.
people already leaving and going over to get lunch and stuff. But there was like around I guess about close to 1,600 people there is
So
what
that's
they
the
said.
district convention then.
That was the district convention.
Yeah, can you believe it was that small?
Wow. Because our assemblies used to be about 5,000.
Yeah.
There were 5,000 at the as a district. That's crazy.
Yeah, we had like 10,000. I remember one year we had like 14 at a district assembly, but then they realized
Put
that
it
was
in your
too many.
photos. Move right here. See that arrow right there?
But like I was saying, I think I said this last week on is that they have a way of explaining anything away. So now, the reason why there's less people there is because we're in the last days, and the greater love of the love of the greater number will cool off, and so it's like you can't win. 1 minute they'll say, "Oh, the reason why it's the truth is because lots of people coming in," and when you present a photograph like what you've just presented there, it's the other way around now. Oh, it's because it's the last days and everyone's not interested in anything. It's a sign that it's the last days, that everyone's falling away from the truth, the narrow road, and so on. So they just want to always be propping up whatever the current situation is in the organization. You know,
that's true. Yeah. Well, that's the only picture. I couldn't get any more up because it's not showing up in photos.
Let me do this again.
It's okay. We'll just do another video later where we'll just show what we have, the pictures and the video and stuff.
How many people got baptized then?
8.
No, I think it was 9.
Oh yeah, right. The handicapped lady, old lady.
Yeah.
9 people. Wow.
I don't want that picture.
Why?
Because they want to see how many people were here.
Well, I'm going to show them the donation thing.
Okay. There's also a picture of Caleb
What
and
do I
Sophia.
do? Put it here?
No. You have to go here.
Oh,
there's a picture of Caleb and Sophia there. Which is funny. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just a picture of us. I don't know why he wants to see the show.
Because look in the background what you see.
Okay. In the background is a
the donation booth.
box.
One of them.
Oh wow.
Anyways.
You'll fit right in.
Yeah. That's true. Nobody would know. Look, did you see my jw.org pin?
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You both were modest.
Nobody would know.
Oh.
That's funny.
And then this one here is the actual. Can I show me the assembly hall?
I mean, if it's on there, yeah.
All right, what I do? Go.
Click on
You do it.
this, and then we're gonna image file. Are we doing photos?
Yeah, photos. Right there.
This one.
Well,
That one?
Either one.
Okay. Why?
I'm sorry.
No.
What is it?
So you're cosplaying as a pioneer.
That's
a
true.
good one.
Hey, that's my Halloween costume. There you go. Anyways, that's assembly outside. All right. But we have better pictures. It's just
here, which one you want me to
not-
send?
anyways,
Jeff,
it
do you-
doesn't matter.
Jeff, do you
Yes.
ever go back to the meeting at all? Like just as little sneak say?
Absolutely not. No. And no, like I'm at the point now. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do if somebody close ends up dying, because I don't want to go for a funeral.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And would they invite you to a funeral?
Like, yeah, there are a couple of people where they would invite me.
Okay. This one.
I'm
Okay,
trying to move out the country, Maverick. We'll see if I can move out in time.
Sometimes it's the only way.
Good one right
Oh my
here, too.
goodness.
Is this the one? Oh, okay. That's like right before it started. And people were getting to their seats, so you can kind of have an idea about how many were there.
Wow.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And that was a regional?
Yeah, regional convention, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And these conventions used to have the Coliseum here full at like 10,000, right?
Yeah. If I seen you guys walking down the street, I would avoid you, Jacob.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah. I just watched Serena get baptized on YouTube. Yep. I know. I did a little short video about her.
What, again? She got baptized again?
Well,
Serena.
No, she's never been baptized before.
Serena Williams.
Yeah.
There it is.
I thought she was baptized a while ago.
No.
Really?
I don't think so. I
saw videos of her being baptized, or maybe I don't know.
Like a long time ago?
Yeah, a little while ago. Last year? No?
Well, maybe it was last year. But either way,
yeah,
it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, it wasn't long ago. No, it wasn't long ago. No.
and they happened to mention her today. They didn't say her name, but they were talking about someone who got baptized, who was like a great tennis player at the age of 16 or 17. I was like,
right.
Hello. That's who they're talking about.
Yeah. I wondered if I wondered if she got baptized twice, thinking that she'll get double insurance that she's going to get into the new system.
No. And then of course we all say she can do no wrong because they want her money. Yeah. Because she was out there, wasn't she singing the national anthem?
And she's doing the football, doing the national anthem.
The Olympic torch.
Huh?
The Olympic torch.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's doing a lot of anti-JW stuff, and then they don't say anything about it. But they did complain when Michael Jackson did stuff because they were a little bit harsher then. But then they realized they messed up when they could have gotten a bunch of Michael Jackson's money.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said, okay, that she got baptized 3 or 4 years ago. I saw a video or something. Okay.
So it was since I've been out. It had to be within the last 4 years. But it was, yeah.
Oh, new light. They can do the flag now. Okay.
Oh.
No, not yet. We'll see. Okay, guys. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and end the live stream. Is there anything are you trying to add something else?
Yeah, I was just trying to find some. There's so many of them in there. I was going to do a video and compile them together.
Yeah, we'll just
talking about all the new light with it.
You know what's interesting about the changes? It's like, it doesn't really matter what the change is. But it's always a situation where, why doesn't anybody question the fact that the change itself is something like the beards or whatever it is, tomorrow it'll be something else. They're not going back and thinking, well, hang on a minute. We question this all the time. We say with critical thinking, this can't be true because it was presented as truth before, but the average witness doesn't do that. They just don't. I don't understand why they can't put just a couple of dots together just before to say.
With the amount of people I see leaving, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people are putting it together.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it's like, it's ridiculous. I mean, that's why they're begging for money so much now. I don't know if you guys have noticed how much they ask for money.
Yeah.
I mean, they're taking it out of your account now. I mean, Let just did that talk. Hey, we're going to take it straight from your account. Each Kingdom Hall is going to set a certain number for each member to give, and
that's the other.
We're going to draft it out of your account.
Yeah, the other new thing about auto draft. Another new light, I guess.
Is that not crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
Their money's drying up too. I mean, now they're wealthy. Don't think they're not. They're doing well. I mean, they're worth. I used to think they were worth less than they are. I looked into a lot of things. Probably no more than $10 billion. but $10 billion is a lot of money.
That's true.
Oh yeah, and also we don't know what the hedge funds and their offshore accounts that they're going. No one's ever going to know about those.
Right.
Um,
But you know,
that's
you
another.
got to remember the Catholic Church got hit for $5 billion off of their CSA.
Yeah.
And did you guys see the link I posted for that so you can go read about it? Like
It's
that was
in
on national media.
Another video you did, which was, what was it called?
I forget, but
The one that you just did before.
I'll post
this
it
last
again
one.
and I'll put it on the post in the post so you can go find the link.
Well, he did a video about where he put in the description all these links where you could click on it and then you could send an email to maybe was it NBC, I think.
Yeah, and I put that on there. Anyway, they had to pay $5 billion. And you look at the amount of cases that they were charged with. Then you look at the amount of cases that the Jehovah's Witnesses have. This is a tiny group of people. This is 1 in 1,000 people might be a Jehovah's Witness. Is that about right?
Yeah. Well,
Think about that. And they got like double the amount of CSA. That's insane.
And so it's called the What is Stephen Lett Really Saying? That was the name of his video that has the links in it.
Yeah, what is Stephen Lett really saying?
Yeah.
But think about that. They got double the amount. That's for such a small group. The Catholic Church had 1 billion members.
Yeah. You know, I always wondered why. I always felt that if something like this came out, it would be way worse than the Catholic Church. I used to think that because the way the PR works in the organization is they work so hard to have this super squeaky clean image. It's it's insane. Like, and I just thought to myself, nah, it's not possible for nothing to happen. Like the way the Watchtower tries to present itself is, we are the only religion on the planet that has a pure organization. Like they call it pure worship. And I just thought, nah. People are people, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And I thought one day it's going to come out. And look, as you said, Anthony, it's I think it's worse than the Catholic Church. I said that privately to myself in conversation with my family and stuff, but I believe it's worse. And it's coming out.
The cases.
Yeah,
I mean, that's just documented cases are worse.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
And so, a question here: what's our take on the Zoom taking the place of in-person meetings?
I think it will. I think it'll be a strictly online religion.
Watch?
No, I don't think they will. I think they'll turn it on and go do like they did during COVID, everything else.
That's what woke a bunch of people up. Not having to be there in person.
I know firsthand some witnesses who they switch on the Zoom, they go quiet, like they mute it, they don't put their camera on, and they go and have a shower, go and cook food and whatever, and then come back when it's at the end and bye everyone.
She was awake, but she was doing some of the Zoom meetings, and that's what she would do.
Yeah.
Just to please her mother. She would just click on them and go do whatever she had to do, and then come back and say, "Oh yeah."
No.
You know what? Like thinking about it when I was going through that whole Zoom thing, is I actually had to get away because of the anxiety.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it was like I couldn't sit in front of that screen without starting to get some serious anxiety.
Yeah.
And then when I went back to the Kingdom Hall after it, well, even before that, there were times it's like I had to get out the Kingdom Hall and walk around the parking lot.
See,
I didn't realize how bad it was.
You guys that were born in, Jeff, that's something I have noticed is the anxiety is crazy. Like Ruby was saying, she had to get herself into a place to where she felt good. And that's sad, man, that you got to get there. But thank God she did. But it's sad that even exists,
That's true.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm glad I left before JW Broadcasting. That just came out a year after I'd left. I didn't have any Zoom meeting nonsense. That would have been another reason why I would have left just for the Zoom thing. I would have, I'm not going on Zoom. Sorry. I just thought it's a lot of nonsense. It would have made me make maybe some decisions quicker if I was in that place when you have to come onto Zoom and I don't know. Did they ever say you have to put the camera on, or was that some localized
I think it was local. I think they encouraged it at my congregation. I'm sure they had some kind of elders letter about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that would have been a no-no for me.
And that girl, I see your message here about the email, training video. So thank you. I will check into that.
Oh, that girl, cool. Glad to see her here.
Yes.
You know, we're missing Esther's. Anybody saw Esther?
Yeah, what happened to her?
MIA.
She used to come on here all the time.
She was in for a bit today.
She was officially the first one on as well, wasn't she? The official.
Oh, she was here today?
Was it Esther E, Esther R, or Esther?
I saw SD. Well, now we have SD and Esther.
Oh yeah, SD was.
SDS.
Yeah. Esther wasn't on.
Oh,
and
right,
she was like one of the first people that come on. Now she doesn't.
And she was like one of our first subscribers. That's
yeah.
I think you and Jeff, all you guys are
like the first people.
Yeah, some of our first peoples, man.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to support good people, you know. It's important to support each other.
That's the thing. I try to support all the other channels as well. I don't really have. I like everybody, man. I don't have it. If all we got to do is smack everybody around, that's kind of crazy. Jeez, you talk about destruction. That'll destroy more than you could ever build.
Exactly.
Yeah, Born JW, your ministerial servant and flat review Zoom.
Oh, that's right. He's faded, right? Is he the one that's faded?
Born JW, I'm the same. I was the same. I just used to. I knew that I had a reputation maybe that you can't make me do something I don't want to do, but I made myself comply to their nonsense. You know?
Yeah.
I was just like, well, if I want to do this, I'll do it. They tried so hard to make me a ministerial servant elder, and I just refused. I just didn't want to be under the local elders. Well, you got to be this now, and I said to them, look, if you give me a talk to do, I don't mind. If you ask me to take a group, I don't mind. But I still I felt like I was in control of my own choices. But as soon as you sign up to the official, you are now a servant or an elder. That's it. You're basically under the.
I feel like I would like Zoom because I like to hide. I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So, well, I want to give just a shout out to all the YouTube members first. Happy Thoughts and Jeff, Esther, Sean, David, Yarekshin, Obat, and Dylan, and the CO visit. And then also our Patreon members. Let's see, it's Sheila, Zoini, and Danette. So,
Zoini, we hadn't saw her neither.
But we are doing like a different day, so maybe that's also could be a problem. So
I like doing the Saturday Sunday, but God, did that sound terrible? Saturday Sunday.
We'll see. We'll see. We're trying this out to see what works for everybody and to see what ends up being a better day.
I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but the Southern accent, you can hear the Scotch and the Irish influence in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, really bold, or the Welsh as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for joining in today. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you, Jeff and Maverick, for coming in today. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. And
Jeff, Maverick, thank you guys a bunch.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody else over here, man, in the comments. Thank you, every one of you guys.
Yeah,
everyone in the chat. We're all great crowd. Yeah, it's been really good.
Yeah, we're the great crowd.
Yeah,
we are the great crowd. Yeah, it's true.
Hey, everybody!
Are we the great crowd, or are we the other sheep?
Oh yeah, there we go. The other sheep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Because we're the great crowd because we are a large number of people leaving. The other sheep was supposed to be a smaller group, right? They're the other.
Right. Oh yeah, true.
They are now. Isn't that crazy?
No, that was no. That was the little flock.
Oh, the little flock. Well, who is the other sheep?
You don't remember your doctrine? Come on.
Wait a second. Okay, the other sheep was the great crowd?
Yes.
The other sheep was the great crowd, yeah.
Okay. So we're
the little flock and the other sheep.
They're the little flock. We're the other sheep. And I guess the little flock, though.
You're still there.
They're more like the little flock of goats, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The goats, oh Lord.
True.
You
Well,
know, I always got confused on that one. Who
yeah.
the thing? You know, I remember when I was studying with the elder
Mhm.
that I helped wake up. He was like, he would tell me, he was like, "Well, I'm gonna get you to start answering questions. So we're gonna pick a question for you to answer, and I'm gonna call on you when it's." I was like, "Oh my!"
I
He was
know.
like, "Make sure you raise your hand," and he was like,
No,
"You know,
no
once you get
pressure,
back,
right? No
huh?
pressure, right?
No,
No
I
pressure.
know." And he was like, "Once you get baptized," he was like, "it won't be no time. You'll be a ministerial servant. Then you can." I was like, "What? I ain't even got baptized yet."
Well, you hadn't even become a publisher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he kept pushing me to go out in service.
Yeah, in the 90s, early 90s, my congregation was just a pioneer nest. It was just pioneers, and it's almost like to be in the clique or the clique. You had to be talking about or actually being a pioneer. So I got recruited into that. Actually, to be fair, I actually thought I was doing something useful because Armageddon is around the corner.
Yeah.
But a big part of it was you get the accolade of, oh, this guy's taking it seriously and so on. So, yeah.
But it was different back then too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Guys,
true.
I don't know if you noticed the number that was in chat earlier. We almost broke 100.
Yeah.
It's dwindling down, I guess.
Yeah, it's went way down, but it was.
We've talked too long.
I think Ruby brought a crowd with her.
Yeah. It's all good.
It was good seeing her here. You know, Wally comes through sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, occasionally he does.
Yeah, I miss you, Wally.
Yeah. Well, I hope y'all have a great day, night, whatever time zone you're in.
Well, it's not.
I'm gonna jump ship now to see what Rick Ferron's doing. He's probably live now.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll click on stuff and see all you guys over there.
Yeah. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks,
Okay,
Jeff.
thank
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jeff. Y'all have a very good night.
Yes.
Andrew.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.